Yes, big up to all the good people in the chat. Good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all eating blue, sleeping blue, waking up blue, and overall living the blue life. Welcome back to the Blue Morning Show. Today, we're going to be doing the predicted lineup exercise for the game that will take place in a few hours today. And also, but we'll start with a few interesting topics that we didn't really talk about yesterday, but we're not going to dwell too much on it. As usual, I want to say to my bro, Liam Lane, if you're watching, just remember that I do care and I love you, bro, and I miss you. I hope you're recovering very well. And please, if you see me holding one side of my mouth like this, it's due to pain, but I hope it subsides. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Is there even a point of this? Loss guaranteed. But let's just do it. We love our club. We shouldn't stop leaving because you feel like Chelsea will lose. And besides, again, in 2012, before we won the UEFA Champions, won our first Champions League, we were 3-1 down against Napoli, and we overcame the deficit and beat them. So never say never. Even though, yeah, looking the team's current form, Real Madrid's form, and our form, you think it's impossible. But you can't script this game. Anything can happen. So yeah, there's a need for it. Let's do it. Big up Kuchila, big up to you too, JC. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. And here's the membership link. But I want to say something quickly. I started this membership because my bro, who's also in the chat right now, Bobby Fairview, asked me to. He wanted to really support the channel. I'm saying this, please, if you know you can afford it, do it only when you can afford it. Don't do it if you can afford it. Don't do it and feel like everything about the channel should be about you. Because I had somebody who was a member and stopped being a member, and the last message they sent me was that they wish they're on holiday like me, and then blocked me on Discord. That was so insulting to me. Look, I can do without the membership. And I'm just saying that. And I appreciate JC, everyone else that became a member wholeheartedly because they know they don't have to. And when they did that, I tell them you don't have to. So especially those that are panelists. So if you feel like you can do it from the heart that you want to support the channel. Don't do it and expect everything to be about you. And if I take a 2-day break, you be feeling like, oh, you're paying me all that money and I have to take a break. But I appreciate all my brothers like JC, Bobby, Roger, all those that did it from the heart, Dante and others, and wasn't doing it because they feel like they should own the channel or something like that. But we move on from that. I am pretty confident that Mudryk will still start today. That's one of the reasons to watch this game. I hope he starts. And I was so, again, gutted that he didn't start the last time against Real Madrid for obvious reasons we did talk about here on the show. He is our top goal scorer in the Champions League with 3 goals. Yes, I get it. The 3 goals were scored for Shakhtar Donetsk, but it's still something. And the last time he played against Real Madrid, when he was subbed off, he was applauded. That's to show you he did well against them. But that's, by the way, we move on from that one. And big up to you, my bro, Jesse. I appreciate all your support in on and off the shows. Yep, I've read that one. My bro, Bobby, blessings to you. Nagelsmann isn't in already, isn't in at this point, and you've already started Nagelsmann out. What has it done to you, man? Calm down a bit, give him a chance if he's the one. But some are saying the news out there with regards to Chelsea's hunt for a manager is conflicting. Some are saying Luis Enrique is leading the race, and some are saying that what's his name, Nagelsmann is leading the race. We're not sure what's going to happen, but just give him a chance if he happens to be the one. But more importantly, bless up to you, bro. You know I love you so much and respect you. Good morning, Coach. I trust you and the family are doing well. A lot of people, yes, we're doing well. Thank you so much for asking, brother. I appreciate that. I join Bobby to say skateboard out. Stop it. Let the man in first. What else do we have here? Hi, people. Christian David. I haven't seen you for like, I think months. Correct me if I'm wrong, but more importantly, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. And we have JC saying hello to Bobby there. Yep, let's see what else we have there. Christian, hello to you. Wait, what? Wow, even at the basically level, I would become a member because you are to be compensated for all the free content you deliver. Ignore them. It doesn't matter to me. I just felt insulted by the person sending me a message saying they wish they were on holiday like me and also blocking me on Discord. I didn't like that. They have every right to stop being a member, but sending such messages show that they felt like everything should be about them because they're paying that money. And we're gonna do. It depends on how many people will have watching today, participating today. A monthly student giveaway, like I promised. Yeah, and even the membership thing didn't make enough to give me how much I really want to give out to students, but I'll still make up and give them something substantial, maybe. Hi to you too, bro. I know again it's been a minute, but let's move on from that. I know it's been moons, brother. Yeah, I thought so too, because I know I haven't seen you for a while. I'm looking forward to going to the game today. Wow. Hopefully they get a win. But let me know, are you looking forward to the game, really, the game itself? I know you're looking forward to being at the stadium. Do you think we can win this one? Or do you think it's an L already? Whatever you think, you let me know. And if you're in the chat, let me know what you think will be the outcome of the game. And whatever you think, let me know why you think that would be the case. And please, if you just join in, keep liking the videos. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do, and yeah, the likes to go along with more importantly. Then if you like, to try it 2-3 times. If you like what you're seeing, you can go ahead and subscribe. And Lee Francis, Dave, good morning, brother. Good morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining the show. I am looking forward to going to the game this evening. To be honest, I've missed the last 2 games, and I'm not sorry I have. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. Kachila, you work hard, and we need us to show support. Like I said, it didn't move me that much. I just felt insulted that they had to go to the extent of blocking me. They have every right to stop being a member, and that don't mean anything to me. But much love to you, brother, and I appreciate all the support. Coach, I'm not saying that Nagelsmann being a carbon neutral is a bad thing. I am just saying that making CFC wait all the while he's skateboarding from Germany isn't a very smart. Enrique cared more, and he was the first to sit for an interview face to face with the owners. But correct me if I'm wrong, the whole delay comes down to the owners. They want to take their time, not really Nagelsmann. But we're moving from that. Let's see what else we have. So are we starting to blame our owners for the losing streak and 4-1 at Chelsea to lose? Can you expand as to why you think we're going to lose 4-1 to Real Madrid today? I really do want to know. A draw, I am hoping we score a goal. Yeah, I think that statement. I agree with that one. Hoping we score a goal. In fact, because we haven't been scoring as we shoot. So let's look at some news. Did we talk about this a bit yesterday? I think we did. Levi Colwell will wait for the new coach to be appointed before deciding on a Chelsea contract extension. And I've read something aligned to this also, saying something to the effect of there's a chance a new manager comes in and wants to sign certain players. So he wants to be sure he has a place in the team, which is a smart move for the kid. That shouldn't have, to me, he shouldn't have been gone out on loan in the first place. And if we eventually, I'm thinking Levi Colwell probably is paying attention to Chelsea's interest in Josko Gvardiol, which I've argued wouldn't make sense if we sign him now. He will not come cheap. It will just be a player we're signing for the sake of signing him. Plus, a player we're signing because he's Josko Gvardiol. I don't think we need players in that area. So we get to these Spurs. Here's one thing that will make you like Nagelsmann a bit. It says Spurs made our purchaser Julian Nagelsmann, but the German is set to prefer Chelsea, although Spurs qualifying for the UEFA Champions League could become a factor in his decision. But I don't think he would want to join Spurs right now, even if we don't have Champions League football, we have Vivel who can convince him if he's really the guy we want. I think maybe let's see what happens. If he joins us, even though we don't have Champions League football, then that shows he really wants us. The delay is due to nepotism towards Nagelsmann. Really? Wow. That is some statement right there. Here again, it's the day we will finally discuss 4-3-3. I think maybe we may well need a poll to find out what structure we think is going to go with. But I think what the deciding factor will be the number of defenders we have available. Koulibaly isn't available. I don't think he'd go with a back three with Cucurella being the left centre back man, except if he decides to go with Chalobah on the left centre back position. But we'll see. 4-3-3 today. Mount and Havertz are going to be key. If we win if we're going to win today, Reece is simply not fit. I think, did we hear anything from the manager itself? Because I haven't watched. I didn't get a chance to watch the press conference completely. The part I watched was mainly the part of Kepa Arrizabalaga. But let's see what happens. We'll get into that debate. Enrique cared more. I felt that. I felt so too, because he had to straight away come to London, speak with them, and the rumors are that he wanted the job immediately. He wanted to start the job by facing Real Madrid. If that was the case, really, which means he felt like he could beat the Real Madrid team with the squad we have. And yeah, you guessed it. They didn't give him the job. But we'll talk about that more. Big up to you, my bro, Glenn. Much love to you. And OG here, I appreciate all the support, brother, and love and respect to you. And one thing I can assure the members, we are working on a show. I just don't want to talk about it too much and it not be ready soon. A members only show. That doesn't mean we're alienating every other channel participant, subscriber that are not members. They will still enjoy themselves too. Big up, Coach. Good to have you back. Thank you so much, Neil. Always nice to see you, brother. Nagelsmann is the only one on the list who will tolerate the three blind mice wandering into his dressing room with beer cans in hand. Wow. Do you really think so? I think, here's the thing, bro. I think that's just an assumption, but let's see what happens. I think Nagelsmann is an excellent manager. Do I fear that there's a chance he becomes a yes sir manager? I really don't think so. If it's one, then there's no way he'd fall out with the Bayern Munich hierarchy, if that makes sense. I hope you understand that argument there. Let's see what we have here, Coach. I didn't make a typo. 4-4-3 it should be as Paul is said. And how do we confirm that he actually said that? There's no way to confirm he said that. But it's every time again we talk about it, it's hilarious, really. It's indeed funny to talk about that. And my bro, Christian David, becomes a member. Chilwell is such a massive loss. I think he is. But I've seen some people, you could say, starting a beef with some camp saying Cucurella is better off. We're not blaming Chilwell enough as much as we're blaming what's his name, Cucurella, for being bad. I think he's done well. I think he's a massive loss. He's shown that he's starting to regain that form he showed before he sustained that long-term injury, starting to put good crosses into the box and all that. I think, yeah, if anything, if it weren't for the misses, I think he could have had at least 2-3 assists right now. But thank you. More importantly, thank you so much, Christian David, for becoming a member. I sincerely do appreciate that. Much love and respect to you. That will go a long way for us. Any coach coming to Chelsea should not be thinking of Champions League. It's like admiring a middle-class guy and expecting to meet a Ferrari in his garage. Let the coach come to take us to Champions League. Wow, what a way to put it, but it's hilarious, dude. I appreciate that. Do you think our owners was wrong for going to the dressing room? Except for my bro, Roger thinks otherwise. But Roger explained in detail why that's the case. It's something they do in the United States. Owners get involved to the extent of going to the dressing room, talking to players. I don't want to misquote him, but something to that effect. Which I don't think it should be happening in football. I know during the press conference I heard something that Frank Lampard say something to the effect of it's not a problem for him. I think it's a problem. Some managers will feel like you're under what's the term for it? Is it you're undermining their authority or something like that, and that's not okay. I think if you want to meet with the players, it should be on the training ground and not really in the dressing room, especially after a game. maybe you could say after a game is you could say it's acceptable to some measure. And what happened to the extent that a certain player feels like to everybody in the room that a certain player was being singled out, specifically something to the effect of saying that player, after spending so much, that he was so crappy on the pitch on the day. I don't think that's okay. Somebody with a weak mentality might find it difficult to come back from that, if that makes sense. Luis Enrique to Tottenham. I hope that doesn't happen. To me, as much as I say I will take either Nagelsmann or Luis Enrique, but my preference is Luis Enrique. He's won more, 9 trophies in total, plus emerging as the best manager of the club manager in, I think that was 2014, 2015. Nagelsmann has won just 4 trophies in total. So my preference is Luis Enrique. But if we get Nagelsmann, I'll take him. But I wouldn't want a situation where we get Nagelsmann and then Luis Enrique ends up at Tottenham. But let's see. Both managers won us, even though some of them are aware that we're not going to have Champions League football. Yeah, let's see. Big up Kuchila, the Prince is here. Big up to you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Can Aspi be a better left back than Cucurella? I think you could say that. But it has to be an approach where he doesn't have to do a lot of running, because 1v1, he's still excellent. Where the problem lies is where if you need him to do a lot of running, probably he gets tired out before the game gets far, goes far, if you understand my point. I think he can be a better left back than Cucurella, if you ask me. Maybe let me say a better overall defender than Cucurella. What Cucurella can be attacking-wise, probably better from the left-hand side. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Aspi is slow during counter-attacks. That's the thing. That's why I said defensively overall, he can be better. But because he's still good. He's still excellent 1v1. Lampard will have absolutely no problem with Barley. Barley gave him such a big chance after being discarded by Everton. I think that's a solid argument. That is a solid argument. Yeah, he wouldn't. Somebody gave him a chance to actually, put his coaching career back on track, even though it's a mess right now. I think he would take him winning the Champions League to at the end of the day say, you know what, I think this is enough to get me a good job somewhere else. Yeah, so I agree with you. Feded, it's been a minute too. I hope you're doing well. Fabrizio Romano has claimed that Chelsea are monitoring Valencia goalkeeper Georgi Mamadishvili. I can't pronounce his last name, but Georgie, I think we'll be looking for goalkeepers. That's what I've heard. We've been hearing that for a while now, so I'm not shocked about that news. But Feded, more importantly, I hope you're doing well. And my bro, Blue Clouds Media, we haven't spoken for a while, probably because I travel. But you're a good brother, such a good brother that you've been reaching out to see if everything was all right. And yeah, I had to travel and I had to do. But let's talk privately. But more importantly, bro, I love you so much and always nice to see you. If you haven't, please go check out Blue Clouds Media YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. He's a good guy, and you will enjoy his content. Good afternoon to you, Ovia Joy. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Ovia, I hope you're doing well. Why those owners cannot stay away from dressing room? To me, they are the one causing problems. They should allow coach to do his job. I read this because you're an OG here. The Prince, you shouldn't be using all caps. Set a good example, because if somebody that's not a mod does the same, Nightbot will delete their message. We are monitoring a younger goalkeeper, Georgie. Okay, he's a younger goalkeeper. Okay, I hope he's good enough. His value is 22 million, not a bad one if it's good. It seems our players are not happy. Maybe the way they've been handled, no one knows. A lot of things are going on. First, we heard the Grand Potter had them sit on the floor in the dressing room. So, big up, Chimera. I hope you're doing well. One of the two things have to happen. Aspi starts in, parks the left side, or Lewis Hall should stop sneaking in needles in Cucurella's shoes before games. What a way to put it. If I see Lewis Hall, I wouldn't mind. There's nothing to lose, actually, if you want to put it that way. Aspi starting, which means you can say if Aspi starts today, it simply means we're really not looking to be more offensive than defensive. I know balance will be key, but that brings to mind the importance of what structure he decides to deploy, and we'll talk about that in a bit. How do we come out from this mess? I am tired. I think if you start looking forward for next season. Now, this season, just relax. Like Americans would say, follow the punch. And if you follow the punch, it won't hurt that much. But if you try to go against the punch, then you probably hurting yourself even more. So just follow it and don't expect too much, so that when we lose a game, you won't feel that bad, if that makes sense. This says Bally wants a young coach like Nagelsmann because he knows he can do the alpha on him. More importantly, Red Bull gives you wings. Not Travis. I love that one, really. That commercial I will never forget. I know it's not easy as a player to see all the managers and the fans turn on them. It can be mentally draining, if you understand that. But yeah, I get that. Todd Bowley seems down to earth. These players think they are above judgment and need humbling. This helps the manager. Lampard is smart. Here's the thing. He's down to earth. I get it. He's probably overdoing it. I don't know how that will come across to the players there, but some will be questioning, why isn't the manager doing the talking? The manager is the one that understands the problem very well. I get it. We'll all see that the team underperformed, but from a tactical perspective also, you could sense that we have a big problem. We know why. My bro Glenn says, we know why they chose a Frank as caretaker, and his managerial past has nothing to do with it. They picked him because of his stature and knowledge of the club, even though it's completely changed. And you're laughing at what you just said. Even though, if anything, Frank's appointment divided the fan base even more. That's how I see it. The positive vibes he was going to bring hasn't happened. If anything, he's divided the fan base even more. You see some, you could say some sections of the fan base saying that was a wrong appointment. Then you see some bringing nationality into it, looking at where you're from, why you're saying that. They say, oh, look, he's American. Oh, he's Nigerian. Oh, that's why he's saying Frank isn't a good appointment. But we're moving from that. But it's hilarious to say, yeah, that's it. We're finished. I'm not going to say that one, really. It's getting us relegated. As much as I'm still concerned, I still strongly believe we're not going to get relegated because we have about 12, 11 points cushion with those guys fighting for relegation. So it would take some excellent form from about 3-4 teams to drag us into that battle, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have here. I would do Lawendal. Nice to see you here. Today's match at Chelsea will come back with good result, which will surprise the world of football. But for me, we did it against Barca, Bayern, Liverpool, and Napoli in UEFA Champions League. And today, we should repeat that. Did we at any time do that against Bayern? I don't remember, but I remember Napoli. But yeah, against Barcelona, I don't remember either. But thank you for that comment. I don't have a problem with showing passion, but Bally shooting these top football professionals, schooling this top football professional. What does Bally know about football, which my grandma doesn't? Yes, I get it, and I get Roger's argument. Really, I think it will be problematic. Can you now see that we played good football under Potter? Only our attackers let him down. I will say that too. Here's the thing: we played well. Like I think I've said that like 10 times now. We actually did play better under Graham Potter. If anything, if you weren't going to hire a manager immediately, then let Graham Potter finish the season. Again, an established manager immediately, let Potter finish the season. It was a huge risk, bringing in Lampard. With the Champions League, again, we still had the possibility then. We still have the possibility to overcome a two goals deficit and progress to the semi-final stage, but it's even more difficult now. But before then, we could have, what Roman could have done would have been to gone he would have gone for an established manager to see if we can overcome them and progress to the final, get a chance to win it. If anything, I didn't even see anything close to a new manager bounce. I wonder what kind of coach Sol Campbell would be if he had the same privilege as Lampard. I don't know really. You tell me why you say that. I think there must be something. Again, this comment must be driven with something that I'm not well aware about. You let me know why you said that, bro. I really want to know before to say something. Frank Lampard doesn't have tactics or system. It's a freestyle FC. You could argue that. Faded, nice to see you. And my bro, you don't have to do this. And you know me too well. And when I say you don't have to do this, you know I mean it. But thank you. I appreciate that. Now or never, my brother. I know we are in bad times, but much support to the boys today. We have to support our team. I would never stop supporting Chelsea, no matter what happens. But if I have questions, I will always voice my questions. I'll try to be as objective as possible. I cannot stop supporting my club because we have a bad manager. Yes, but thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much, but you don't have to do that. And you know I mean that. Barley wants Nagelsmann because it's easy to control him. Yeah, a lot of people have said that we should consider the age because what if some players are disrespecting him in the dressing room and he starts shouting at them privately? That could happen. He wouldn't be fair for Luis Enrique because he wanted to take over the job after Graham Potter's sack, but Todd Boehly listened to James Corden. I think that's absolute. I'm not going to believe that. I absolutely refuse to believe that's the case. Faded, okay, just having a conversation there with OVJ. Let's see, my bro, Eugene. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? I want to know what's your avatar. I can't really see it. I want to see learn about your avatar. Yep, well, and nice to see you. I am sick of every Chelsea fan who's still hyping Hazard. He's no bigger than a club. He didn't deliver UEFA Champions League. I think that's a solid argument too. But again, he was good for us. Everyone's saying Barley shouldn't have gone into the dressing room, but these players needed that wake-up call. Losses left and right is completely unacceptable. But I think they should start questioning themselves. Why did they choose Frank Lampard as a caretaker manager in the first place? But we move on from that. I get your argument where it's coming from. That could actually worsen the situation rather than better it, if that makes sense. Big up to you, Santiago Muno. I hope you're doing well. You cannot play a whole season without a striker and expect goals. Still baffles me. Like I said, I'm all for us going for a striker, but we should wait and see the man who takes charge before deciding on what sort of manager to go for. Glenn, okay, he's talking to Glenn here, and the beautiful game. Big up, bro. Big up, Coach Lampard has lost his legendary status. The hero has become the villain. He should be sharing it. No. I'm not saying that. I hope we get 2012 vibes where we shocked the world. That's why I'm saying, we all know you cannot script football. It's not a game you can script. Football, again, anything can happen. 1 + 1 usually doesn't equate to 2 in football. It's embarrassing for an owner going to the dressing room after the game just to talk to young players. Owners are supposed to enjoy like I said, if he wants to talk to them, it should be on the training pitch. This can actually worsen the situation. How can you say the season is over? UEFA Champions League, and only important trophy. That's how a lot of people see it. We had a chance to win it. We should have gone for an established manager, but they decided to go for Frank. Almost the match is a loss in the book. From first leg, I lost a trust in the squad. Never say never. I do agree with Barley wanting Nagelsmann for control, but I don't think he knows how much of a wild card Nagelsmann is. Like I said, if he wants a manager he'll control, I don't think it's Nagelsmann, who fell out with a Bayern hierarchy, who usually don't hardly have issues with managers. Lampard should quit coaching job and join his colleagues in the pundit session. Like I said, I think he should go find a store in the Cowtown market, and you can say do something else that he can do very well. But that never say never. There's a chance tomorrow he turns it around and becomes an excellent manager, given things he's learned so far. Where was Vivell when the Lampard proposal was tabled? That's a good question. Maybe again he said no, and they wanted him. Maybe they say asked him to focus on getting a permanent replacement for Graham Potter. I don't know, but it's a good question. So we should ask that question, but I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Stanley Onumba says, Kachila one dalo, and I appreciate you speaking our dialect there. I love it. Honestly, with Lampard, we will not win Madrid tonight. Never say never. It's easier for Bolly to scream at the 35-year-old rather than a 55-year-old Enrique. Like TT will not take crap. I guess it. You guessed that right. Enrique will most likely not take that. From Ghana, Brahma Ibrahim, always nice to see you there. So our owners are our big problems. The genesis of our problems started the day they sacked Tuchel. Let's move on from Tuchel. I think we're still suffering due to that, if we're being honest. Absent a miracle. Wow. This will be the last game I will be watching this season. I have no problem with Bolly going into the locker room. It's his team. Yeah, more importantly, but we're talking about the possible adverse effect, if that makes sense. And the players are his employees, but it doesn't work like that in football. Yeah, the slightest misjudgment can cause a lot of issues that you're not going to be able to solve immediately. Did Bali at least remove his sunglasses when they entered the dressing room? I think he might sleep with them. He wears it all the time, so it's a solid argument to think there's a chance he sleeps with them. Kachila, big ups. Sorry for my earlier error on my typing, but honestly, we will not win tonight. I understood what your message, so no problem. We cannot compare from now to the times we defied odds. We're really broken up, but all we can do is hope. Then we had some special players. Yeah, I agree with you. If Tuchel was still here, then we would have done his revenge versus Real Madrid. That's a solid argument, and I think so. If Vivell was worthy of his role, he would have resigned when Lampard was appointed. It depends on again under what circumstances he was appointed. Whether he was we don't know. But I get your argument. I get it, Bolly. I cannot scream at Nagelsmann, but then he would have all this. He would have all the reasons to scream at Vivell. Bolly needs to take it out from time to time. Yeah, he's the owner. He hasn't he didn't spend $1 billion plus, $2 billion plus to not get involved in one way or the other. 950 million pounds, euros again for new players in the last 3 years. That's concerning. It might not be a good idea for the owner to visit dressing room often, but with the 4 successive defeats, it's needed. I guess it's needed. Zia Kabamian, with they all with the all pass record, okay, I can say they are the poison within the team. They could have been free long time ago, but selling them wasn't that simple. In fact, owners would have whipped their ass. He says he pays them and they're not delivering. I don't think they have the right to go to that extent, but I get your argument. Take a moment to reflect on the fact that this could be our last Champions League for 2-3 years. There's a chance that's the case. Yep. Because getting back into top 4 is even more difficult now for the fact that there are new entrants to that elite set of clubs, if you want to phrase it that way. Newcastle have become one of the big boys now. They have money, and be rest assured, if what's his name, Brighton makes it into top 4, they will start spending. They will be part of the Champions League. They will solidify their team, and then it becomes even difficult. So yeah, that makes sense. I agree with you. The ungrateful fans blaming the players again. They deserve Bakayoko, Drinkwater, Morata, Lukaku, and all the names you mentioned there. And that's a solid argument. Don't know if there's any point of watching this game. I'm not sure what to make of it, really. Bally needs to be careful about schooling the lockers next season. Yeah, if we have big guys like Lukaku in there, if any of those giants loses it, he will be in trouble. Indeed, as a coach, you want the club owner to be in your pocket. I don't know what Tuchel was doing, feuding with Bally. He will get you whatever player you want. A lot of coaches would appreciate it, but yeah, not to the extent of interfering with my job. I think it becomes a problem. Not any long time. Why? Okay, I'm not sure I understand that. And being out of the Champions League for 2-3 years is optimistic. These owners have potentially set us back by 5 years. I hope that's not the case. Ow, oh, are we sad we would have a Champions League for a year? Trust the process. Yeah, remember? I haven't forgotten. We should be doing better than that. Does people know how dangerous it is to hire Enrique and stuck with him and his specific players in the next couple of years? It is concerning. Big up to you, Kim So. I hope you're doing well. Always nice to see you. So if you're in the chat, let's talk about this. What structure, what formation do you think will be better of playing? I want to know. Before that, do we have anything else? This says also the senior members of Chelsea legal team have contacted the equivalent of Bayern Munich's, to discuss what it would take in terms of compensation for Julian Nagelsmann. Chelsea still deciding on manager, but Wayne Stanley and Stewart flew to Germany to hold face-to-face talks with Bayern because their compensation will be involved because he's still on in their books, if that makes sense. But we move on from that. The question now is, what structure do you think? What formation do you think will best? Will be best for Chelsea tomorrow, today, a few hours today. For me, if you look at this probable lineup here by Fortmob, I like this so much. I use their app here. They're going with a 3-4-2-1 structure. Essentially, N'Golo Kante and Enzo Fernandez. The 2-8s, Felix and Mudryk, and 9, Kai Havertz. 3 at the back with Thiago Silva, essentially Trevor Chalobah to his left, Fofana to his right. I want to know what you think about this suggestion. Maybe that may well be the structure he goes with, or a back four of Thiago Silva and Fofana centrally, and then left back Cucurella, right back Reece James. I'm thinking to go with something like this is a risk. Trevor Chalobah he's not in the best form. I'm not sure it's going to be. There's no telling what, but I want to get your thoughts. If you're in the chat, you let me know what structure do you think Frank Lampard will deploy tomorrow and why. I'll wait. It'd be interesting to see what you come up with. Predicted lineup, but no, let's start with the structure right now. But you said knowing Lampard, Kepa, Kuku, Fofana, James, Enzo, Kova, Kante. Yeah, I'm surprised they're leaving out Kovacic here. So I think he may well go with a structure where he accommodates even N'Golo Kante or Kovacic. If anything, he could start it like this, but it will maybe. I think a pairing of Fernandez and Kovacic would be risky. They are excellent offensively, but defensively they don't do much to protect the back line. So the better pairing there, I think it's this. Or maybe if you decide to deploy Enzo further forward and then let it be a pairing of N'Golo Kante and Kovacic. But we're not sure what it's going to do. But if you're in the chat, I want to get your thought. What structure do you think Frank Lampard deploys tomorrow? Todd was right going into the dressing room. He spent 600 million. A lot of people say that, but I don't want it to be a constant thing. Happy Lloyd, nice to see you. I think the coach have to select aggressive players who likes to win, like the likes of Mount. So beyond Mount, who else do you think is aggressive enough to bring that sort of spirit? I know you're referencing. I want to know. Anybody you can name, I'm waiting. So you go ahead, tell me any player you think other than Mount. Gallagher is, he's aggressive, but the truth remains there are certain players, if you select them, you'll be sacrificing quite a lot. I wouldn't mind having one of Gallagher or Mount, but not both starting at the same time. Otherwise, we'll be missing quite a lot. Real City and Bayern will destroy us in the Champions League with Luis Enrique football. Okay, 6 years without UEFA Champions League is more realistic. Remember how long it took Arsenal, to get back into that place. So good argument, Coach. I will not watch the game. Insanity is watching Chelsea's every game and expecting a win. Wow. That is some comment. So I'm waiting your thoughts. What structure do you think Frank Lampard goes with? I think 4-3-2-1. Okay, or 4-2-3-1. I think more of 4-3-2-1. Maybe. Can you elaborate on this structure you're talking about? 4-2-3-1. I think swapping the central area of flipping it 2 before the 3, with the 3 accommodating 2 wingers on the both flanks with a 10. I think that's something I think will happen. But can you elaborate a bit how you think the structure will be, where each player will be situated? Eugene, are you from Croatia by any chance? I think there's a chance. I'm not sure. He uses avatars of Croatian players a lot. Let's see. Not having Chile worries me. Kukurea doesn't fill me with confidence, and I don't know whether Hall will even play or is able to. Probably not. It's Real Madrid, but because Frank may well feel like he can get a result out of this. I think he'll be banking more on the experienced players rather than give the youth a chance, if that makes sense. So, I think you make a solid argument right there, brother. Luis Enrique is free. Coach, maybe Bolly will be the extra player. What do you think? And people, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I sincerely do appreciate that. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe for the channel if you have the likes to go a long way. And I'm going to say this again, please. If you want to become a member, be sure it's something that you can afford. Don't do it if you know you cannot afford it. And I appreciate all the support. Thank you to the new member today. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Give me 1 second. I want to do something here quickly. Yep, 4-3-3. Yep, Bolly will be the extra man. 5-0. Yeah, and you want goals, and you want to overcome a 2-goal deficit. I don't know how that is going to happen. With Enrique football, we can forget UEFA Champions League. Enrique is not Pep Guardiola, and he's not Tiki Taka, and he need control for transfer, which for me is not a serious from the club. Here's the thing, like I've said, we talked about this before. Let's see who the club hires. Could Frank have prepared for this game in a more inept way? In his 3 games so far, he's played something different each time. Yeah, not like I said. I'm going to say something I said yesterday again. When I heard him say during an interview, he has his plans. He has his own ideas. I was like, he's going to try and change too much. And I think he's been changing too much. And you can see we're more disjointed than we were on the ground, Potter. Like I said yesterday, we played better on the ground, Potter, overall. Yeah. So to me, I think he tried to change too much. Trust systems. He then go with the idea of just keeping it the way it is, or maybe trying to motivate the players more rather than change too much. I think the application has changed to something different each time. Back 4 to back 3 to back 4, and today hardly a confidence builder. Yeah, it's not. If anything, it begs more questions. Playing Mudryk left wing back. There's a chance that may well be the case in a 3 at the back approach, but I think he can actually go with a back 4 and will still be solid with Kukurea in the left back position with 2 central the defenders. I think that's a viable structure to go with, if you ask me. Let's see what else we have here. In Real Madrid, members doesn't have a control. Okay, let's stop. Let's start talking about the football, the match, right? We're talking about the match, and we're going to go into building the lineup because we started 1 hour late. CFC is making another mistake. Luis Enrique is the best fit, a 3-year contract to stabilize the team and decide the future whether to give him more. I think that's a good idea. Once no Chalobah that boy ain't ready. You could say that Enrique will never join Bottleham. A lot of people say that. Let's see what else we have here. Enzo Posterboy, awful last couple of games. Okay, coach, your lineup is totally wrong. You need to start with Gallagher, and then this is not me. This is a probable lineup from Fort Mob. I'm just saying they're suggesting, and I think it gives you a good idea of what could happen. But I don't see Lampard starting this game without Kovacic on the pitch. I think he will go with a structure that will accommodate Kovacic, if that makes sense. Vivell hired a manager that cannot play a back three in a team that doesn't have a personnel for a back four. The incompetence of the club is relentless. Okay, let's see. We should remember how former owner handles a dressing room. He hardly goes to the dressing room, but anytime he appears, that means it's either coach or anyone will go. This is kind of, again, on the training ground, mainly not. If you see him in the dressing room, it's when they celebrate a win. Big up to my bro, the Claude, coach, and everyone in the chat. Always nice to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well. So I'm going to try probably scroll to the very bottom. As Bobby speaks, I will be highlighting your comments, and if I see anything that I need to get, I will get it. Bobby, big up to you, and thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. How are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, coach. Can you hear me?
Yep, but we're getting that static sound until you made a change. I don't know what change you made before it started sounding well yesterday.
Yeah, it's my earpiece. I tried to talk to you with my earpiece. Let me take it off.
Okay.
Oh dear, because it's so much. Yeah.
It sounds very well. It sounds nice right now. So, Bobby,
Yeah.
your thoughts. We started the conversation. I don't know. We cannot be going back and forth with the manager thing. But if you want to talk further on the manager argument, fine. But if you want to, go ahead.
What manager thing? What you mean, like
People again, the argument, no matter how we try, we're here to do a predicted lineup, but people are always talking about the manager situation. Yeah.
Because he's been linked to Chelsea. You know, I almost get bored of hearing some of these things come out. However, it looks to me, as I said yesterday, it looks to me as if the directorship wants.
I think the static thing is still happening.
They want Nagelsmann. And if they want Nagelsmann, well, you know, that's their job. It's their job to select who can be the next manager, you know, and I think we just have to trust what they're going with. That's just my take. I can't see any other way other than just doing that. Trusting what the directors, what they think we should do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And just quickly, Bobby, we're still getting the static sound. Maybe you can go out and come back in. Yeah, it's not helping. I know I maybe to grasp what you're saying, but I think a lot of people could find it difficult. All right, let's see if Bobby will be able to fix the sound. 4-3. Okay, excellent. 4-3-2-1 means 3 central mids, which accommodates Kovacic. Because I'm going to say this: I don't see Lampard starting this game without a system that will not accommodate Kovacic, Enzo Fernandez, and N'Golo Kante as long as they're all fit. 4-2-2-2. There's a chance that may well be the case. Let's see what else we have here. If we're going to get anything from this match, we need to make use of opportunities, if any. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. If you're suggesting 4-3-3, then you haven't been watching. No, 4-3-3 will not work. Every time we try to play that structure, we've seen utter chaos. Chaos on the pitch. The players don't know what they're doing. Can we start both Mendy and Kepa, coach, just to make sure we don't concede much? I wish there was that possibility. I'd say let's do it. But I get where you're coming from. Chelsea will win and qualify if we don't play Kepa. We need a stroke of luck. Mount, Mudryk, and Felix in the attack, and Kante and Enzo in the midfield. Aspi, Thiago, and Fofana in the back line. If we don't play Kovacic in this game, we're not going to be able to progress the ball. It will be difficult. We don't have anything to lose, So we should come out and play. Most likely we have to play and attack, otherwise it gets worse for us. Let's see what we have here. And James Wingback, I saw that. Mudryk needs to start. I think he needs to start. He's shown what he's capable of doing, gives us flexibility to adjust in-game from 4-3-3 to 3-4-1-2. With him at left wing back, Kai also needs to be inverting from the right, not Mudryk and Felix at the same time. Bobby, given this statement on the screen, yeah, I know you one time talked about the idea of deploying Mudryk in the wing back position. I think we don't have an option today than to do that because we need goals. We can deploy him in the wing back position with an attacking intent. There's a chance we do that. What do you think?
Wow. Oh, that's a bold move. That's a bold move. I mean, for me, my back three will be, I don't know if Thiago's fit, but if he is, it's got to be Thiago, Chalobah, and Fofana. And then wing backs will have to be Cucurella and James. I don't think we can afford to start experimenting. This is not an experimental game. Mudryk will have to play further up the field, in my opinion. I don't think this is a time to say, oh, let's try this and let's try that. We play players where they're meant to be played. Part of the reason why Cucurella makes too many mistakes is because he's being forced to play as a left centre back, which is not his strength. We have to play players to their strengths if we're to have any hope of even scoring a goal, which we've not been doing, not to mention scoring 3 and not conceding 1 to be able to beat Real Madrid and qualify. You know, it's such an uphill task. It really
so you
is
think it's either a back three of Thiago Silva centrally. Thiago Silva most likely, if he's fit at all, I think he's start because without him leading that back line, I think we will be in serious trouble. So it makes sense. I agree with you. No need risking Cucurella in the left center back position against Real Madrid. I think we will regret that. You're saying it's either back three of Thiago Silva centrally, Chalobah on the left, and Fofana on the right hand side, which to me feels like he will most likely go with a back four and deploy maybe what you don't see a back four, you think?
Well, when has a back four ever done anything? I mean, when has it helped us? I can't remember when playing a back four has been of benefit with this team. I don't see, we've never had any joy or been solid. Remember, we can't really afford to concede any more goals, and we're dealing with people like Vinicius Junior, Valverde, maybe not so much Valverde, but he's dangerous coming forward. But Rodrigo, it's and of course Benzema. So we have to be very solid. I think if it was me, this is mission impossible, isn't it? So what we have to do is do as much as we can to turn Real Madrid the other way. Now their defense has improved, their defensive midfield has improved, but they are, they're not impregnable. And if you keep them turned, we could get some joy. They'll look to play on the break because of Vinicius Junior and his speed, but Chalobah and Fofana should be able to take care of that. Well, they've got to take care of that. It's as simple as that. There's no place to hide in this game. You've got to go out there and do everything you can. Is there a chance? Yeah, everything has to, just as Lampard himself said, everything has to work on the day. But the only hope I have with this game is that from the first leg at home, Real Madrid showed that they're vulnerable. You can score past them, but can you score enough? That's the question.
Can we be clinical? Yeah.
Well, this is it. This is it. It's a
Roger,
shame.
yeah, go ahead.
It's a shame, but it doesn't look like this doesn't feel like one of those nights, where we will do something that would really make Stamford Bridge rock, like against Napoli, to a certain extent against Dortmund. But you never know. You never know. A team like Real Madrid has never been flat-footed. And by that, I mean they haven't had a situation where their supremacy has been threatened. And to me, if we score early and then score again and level the tie, that could be what happened, and it will happen to them. And it'll be interesting to see their response. They could well crumble in that circumstance because they're not used to it. You have to take a team like that to a place they're not used to, play them in a way they're not used to. That's why you have to be aggressive, you have to be fast, you have to be incisive, you have to make them uncomfortable. But if you make them comfortable, then you're done.
Yeah, good one there. Roger, my bro, welcome to the panel. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. Roger, the question I have for you, gracias, Roger.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hola,
Little
Roger.
Spanish.
Hola.
Don't lie. Well, I should have started with hola, not gracias. Gracias, I think, means thank you.
It does.
We have a lot of Spanish population here. I don't know why I don't speak a bit of that.
It's actually, and Bobby will confirm this. It's actually me taking the piss out of the British not being able to speak so well. It's an English term, It's very much like when you go to Spain. Yeah. So,
we expect them to speak English.
Yeah, it's just anyway.
So Roger, what structure? We have issues in the back. Koulibaly is out, which you could say effectively, and we don't have Badiashile in the Champions League squad. That effectively cancels out the possibility of a back three. I don't think Lampard would trust Cucurella as a left centre back in the left centre back position. That's my opinion. But your thoughts? What structure do you think we'll go with? Let's figure out the structure, and then we'll go into picking the 11.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're sitting down because you're going to be shocked. I agree with everything Bobby said. So, listen, yeah, Bobby nailed it. But back four, we're too open, we're too vulnerable, especially with this head coach. Frank has never put an emphasis on shutting down shot, but put an emphasis on defense. He just hasn't. He never has in his first stint with us. We were fine going forward. However, we were leaking goals for fun.
Yeah, we could score 10 and the opposition will get a chance to score 12.
Yeah, a bit like Leeds, so to speak, if you get my drift. And so I think it behooves us to play with a back three. Now, that's an interesting question about Cucurella. Would he put him there? He may very well do. I wouldn't be surprised, Coach. Seriously, I wouldn't be. I'm not saying he's going to, but I wouldn't be surprised. It really does depend on Silva too. If Silva isn't fit enough to play today, then we could be in trouble.
But I think he is.
Oh, he is then. Okay, that's
because
great.
without an experienced player like him in the back line and no Koulibaly, it will be utter disaster. But go ahead with what you're saying. Yeah. So you thinking it's going to be a back three?
Yeah, I believe so. That'll be the. I think the logical thing to do based on the fact. But having said that, 4-3-3 or a hybrid of a 4-2-3-1, because we do need to score. We need to score early, as Bobby said. We'd have to. I mean, Kepa's going to have a game of his life. You're right about Chalobah. He seems to be, but he was playing out of position, however. But he doesn't seem to be in form. This doesn't bode well
that's an excellent point. Plus, playing him on the left-hand side where he hasn't played predominantly, I think that's a huge risk against. Will be a huge risk against Real Madrid. But go ahead, brother.
And so, what does he do? Does he play Aspie on the left if Cucurella is playing left centre back, or does or does Aspie play on the right actually? But then how do you compete with the speed against Vinicius? It'll be a mismatch beyond comprehension.
Yeah, and that's a good point because Vinicius is known to switch positions. If he struggles on one end, he switches to the other side.
And he possesses pure speed, and you can't coach speed. It's something that defenses in virtually every sport is threatened by. When someone can run by you, you have to give ground, and that doesn't bode well for any defense, especially ours. So, and then if you do play a 3-4-3, then what are you doing in the midfield? You're allowing, let's be honest, with Kante and Enzo, you're putting those two up against three players. Because they use three in the midfield, don't they? Madrid. So
yeah, but no, let me see. This will give me an idea of the structure they use predominantly. Just give me 1 second. 4-3-3. Yeah, three in the midfield. Centrally Kroos, to the right Valverde, to his left Mudryk.
Yeah,
but it's also fluid. I think, given the way they play, I think it's fluid.
Yeah. And ours will have to be too. Maybe without possession, maybe we put one of the back into the center. We're going to have to. So, listen, I'm going to sound so pessimistic, but I'm just being a realist here. I'm looking at this logically, and I would be pleased if we come away tonight without being embarrassed, because I can see us being
because we are necessitated to attack.
Yeah, there's a small problem with Chelsea, and that's the fact that 6.5 hours or something, over 5 games, we've only scored 1 goal that was a deflection. There was a bloody deflection. Had it not been deflected, it looked like the goalkeeper was going to save it. So, for all intents and purposes, deflections aside, you're looking at 6 games without a goal, plus 6 games, 6.5.
And you could argue also we could have considered more than 8 goals in just the last 2 games.
Yeah, for instance, the last game that complements Chelsea so much. They could have easily put 4 to 6 past us. No exaggeration. I thought Kepa had a solid game with regards to, his shot stopping ability. So listen, this is a team. Bobby's right. This is a team. Look, they have not put a priority in their league this year. They are playing quite poorly because I think they put all their eggs in one basket. They have this sense of entitlement, and rightfully so. When you have 14 of these trophies, they believe that this is theirs, that it's their inherent right to win it each and every year. And they play well regardless of their league form, that they show up. You look at last year, that they were not the better team in each of their games last year, but yet they dug deep and found the way to win each and every game. What was it, 88th or 89th minute? They were 2-0 down to City. So we have to make them uncomfortable. Bobby's very right. We have to do to them what they've been doing to others. Is this possible?
I wouldn't be surprised if Frank Lampard starts with only 3 recognized defenders.
Oh, yeah. Oh, coach. Wow. You want me to keep my breakfast down? That's going to be... I mean, you know what?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, Roger, you still there? Did we lose him? It looks like we lost him. Phil, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning to you too, brother. Just 1 second. Says Mudryk cannot defend. He's not a defender. And if he starts in the left wing back position, the intent will be for him to overload the attacking area and the midfield area, not really to defend. Just like Thomas Tuchel plays wingers in the wing back position, it's always with attacking intent. Mudryk cannot defend, but Cucurella cannot attack. We need goals. So I think it'll be difficult to see how he finds a balance because we need goals. If he focuses on finding balance, then we won't have enough attacking players on the pitch. But your thoughts are, Phil, what structure do you think he goes with? Let's start from there.
Yeah, again, good morning and
Good morning to you. Good morning to you too, brother. I hope you're
yeah,
well.
yeah, I'm doing
Roger,
well.
have you dropped? Hello? It looks like Roger has an issue, but go ahead, Phil.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, have you dropped?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can't remember where I was, but I just want to say we have one issue, and that's if we're going to use the best form of offense for the best form of defense, there's one small technicality. If we were clinical and on form and we were scoring at will, I have no problem playing with that many or that little amount of defenders. But we can't hit the side of a barn door, you know. So
or the butt of a car with a handful of sand.
yeah. Thanks for the visual. But yeah, it's this is our dilemma. We have. I can't recall the last time I've seen Chelsea this inept scoring. I just can't.
All right. Okay, Phil, your thoughts. What structure, given the situation? Nobody is in the Champions League squad. Koulibaly is out. You know the players we have there, and I'm not counting Lewis Hall because he's not a defender. And even the times he's gotten the opportunity to play on the ground, but he started as a wing back, which his primary, the application is what you pay attention to. His responsibility was to overload the attacking area and the midfield area. But given the situation we find ourselves in, what structure do you think he goes with?
Yeah, thank you once again.
Thank you, Brian. Sorry for the delay before bringing you in because Roger hasn't dropped.
No, no
but go ahead.
problem.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Phil.
I would still think we should go with the last setup that we used against them. Even though they scored us 2 goals, I think we should continue with our 3 back lines and 3 in the middle to match them in the middle and our attack. But
the last time, what structure did we use in the first leg?
We played 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I will still think we should do that, but there is a problem in using the 3-5-2. 3-5-2 can be used in 2 different ways. It's either for defense or attacking. But there is 2 things in between, the transition. How can you cope with the transition? And that is the problem. I have watched our match again and again, and I noticed that it is the problem we have is space, and which allowed them the transition. And Vinny thrive when they are in transition because there is too much of space between our defensive phase and the attacking phase. When we try to attack them, there's too much of space in between us, and they capitalize on the space in between the midfield area. So after I watched the game, I think you can remember I was sending you a message on your in your DM about
you did.
our midfielders. You see, when we have these 3 midfielders under Tuchel, a lot of people complain about playing backward. There's a reason for that. The reason behind it is that to allow our defensive phase get closer to the attacking phase. Even if they win the ball, win the ball in their third half to attack us, we choke them quickly and put off the fire. But when you have too much of spacing between the defensive phase and your attacking phase, there is going to be opportunity for them in the middle area to counter you. So no matter what shape Lampard good for today, the first thing that you need to understand is that we have to close up the defensive and attacking phase and minimize the space in between both ends, because that is where the problem lies. I want that game again. Mudryk and their 3 midfielders, they have all the space, and our 3 midfielders, they cannot hold ball to save their life. They cannot hold the ball to save their life. Sometimes
with that Kovacic, that will get worse.
Yeah, Kovacic can hold the ball, but there's a problem. I'm sorry to say, a lot of people maybe want to disagree, but I will advise you to watch the game over and over again. The amount of losing the ball to opponent from Enzo is appalling. Go and watch the game again. When he win the ball, I know he want to play forward all the time. No, it doesn't. You don't have to play forward all the time, because when you play forward all the time, when you get the ball from the defensive line, you get the ball. The defenders, they struggle to win the ball, and they are out of shape to win the ball back. But when the ball get back to you and you try to push it forward again, and if they win it immediately, go watch the game. They win the ball back from those people you want to play to, from what's his name? The two strikers that we have. They win the ball back. Guess what? Our defensive phase, they are out of shape. That is when you see the two side on the right side of our pitch, Shaloba and the two side of the on the left side, they find it difficult to cope with Vinny. The James and Shaloba, they find it difficult to cope because they are out of shape. It's not because they are not good enough. It's because they are out of shape while they are defending to win the ball. And as soon as they win the ball, they give it back to you to create a kind of hold the ball. You lose the ball again. They are out of shape. Vinny take on them. That part of our playing tactics need to be addressed. I don't care the personnel that you put there. They are all players. They are all good players. But they need a good coach to tell them how to handle these balls. We cannot play out of the defense. If you look at the game again, we have difficulty playing out of the defense. And why? Because, again, we do not have a register. Let me tell you, when you play 3-back line, you need a register. I don't care who is telling you what. You need a register in that place to keep the ball because you are out of shape and move everybody. You have how many players in the back? Almost 7 players in the back, or 8 sometimes. And you win the ball and you play forward. You're going to lose it again because you don't have the personnel in the front. So a register have to keep the ball, play with other people in the back, play backward. Everybody get back into shape and start moving forward. That's how to use the 3-5 the 3-back line. You cannot play that and you kick the ball out. You're going to lose it again, and the attack continues again against you. So telling me about formation that we can go for, whatever it is, Lampard need to address the space, and Enzo and the 2 other midfielders, they need to know how to keep the ball, keep the possession. With that, slow them down, keep the possession. When we get to the third phase, then we can you go faster. But when you winning the ball back from your defense, you need to slow the pace to get player back in their shape. That is football 101 for 3-5-2. That is 101 of it. I took my time to study Tuchel and other people that have used the 3-back line. You need to keep the ball. There's no way you can play without keeping the ball. Sometimes you do a fast break, but most of the time you need to keep the ball, most especially against a big team like this. Learn to keep the ball.
Can I also say just quickly, very briefly, the other thing that we've lacked discipline is that the distance between the lines have been too great. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, you are right. That's exactly what I'm saying too. The space in between our defensive phase and attacking phase, if you look at it again, while I'm talking to you, I was watching the highlight before you called me back on. There is too much of space for the 3 midfielders of Madrid to attack us, and they notice this.
Here's the thing: that the only person that will make even on the day, I think he did his best, but I don't. Where was he deployed in N'Golo Kante on the day? I think it depends on where he starts. Madrid had so much freedom; they operated with impunity in the midfield area, which has always been the issue when Kovacic and Enzo Fernandez starts in the center area, in the midfield area. But I can't quite remember who started what position each player were on the day. I think we've struggled, especially in the absence of Kante, to protect the defense.
No, what they did was that they have Enzo in the middle, Kante on the right side, and Cover on the left side. But
I have to say, as much as Enzo, as good as he is, he's excellent defensively, but defensively he doesn't do much in terms of protecting the defense.
Exactly. It doesn't have to do much to defend the game.
I'm not saying defend, protection, but I don't know how I still phrase it so that you understand my point. But go ahead with what you were saying. It looks like Roger wanted to say something else. We have to catch up with the chat and lineup building exercise. Go ahead, Phil, drop so Roger will come in with what he wanted to say.
Yeah, let Roger go on so that let me give her that opportunity to say something.
Okay.
I think the key to success in this game is, with all due respect to Real Madrid's midfield, they're quite long in the tooth, to put it mildly. And if we can close down, and that's something that we've lacked doing, is we need to close them down. Yeah, they're very technical. They know each other very well, but you need to press them. You need to press them to make them uncomfortable. This way, we obtain turnovers. We haven't consistently done that this season. And therein lies, you can't give Mudryk space and time on the ball. He will pick you apart. And this invariably is what's transpired. That's all I wanted to say, Coach.
Yeah. Let me see what we can get. I wanted to add those in the chat. I'll put up a poll right now. Back four is the only thing Lampard can manage. It's such a cluster, what he says, of incompetence. But what do you think about the argument, Roger? While you go on with that, I want to put up a poll to find out with those in the chat what formation they think it's at, so that we will go with them. We don't just want to override them because they have their own say. You go ahead, Roger. What do you think of that comment on the screen, that back four is the only thing Lamps can manage right now? I think the same too, Matt. We don't know. If he goes with the back three, then it will be with an attacking intent to accommodate one more attacking player in the wing back position. But you go ahead.
Well, that's his DNA, isn't it? The back four. This is what he predominantly plays with, so I get it. He was quite pragmatic when we went to the Bernabeu, and rightfully so, playing with the back three. He may be forced to if there are players that were playing out of position to accommodate that back three today. So it all depends. He may very well indeed play with the back four, because you know what? We're at home, and he may his mindset could very well be the fact that he wants to come out and pressure them. And we are stacked in, shall we say, forward-going players predominantly, with the exception of not being clinical. But the talent is there. Have they executed? No, they haven't. So this could very well be his mindset. Would that be, shall we say, naive of him? Perhaps. But we do. Bobby's right. We do need to score early, and hopefully often. But I just can't see that transpiring. I don't know. I just hope that, for instance, Sterling doesn't start, because he's been waning. But I think he likes Sterling a lot. And the one thing I want to say is, if he doesn't play Mudryk, or at least start him, that means that Badiashile was not chosen for this squad for the Champions League, when we could have had him all along. If the coaches don't decide to actually use Mudryk, then that is a decision that will come back and haunt us, I believe.
Can I throw something in real quick?
Of course.
You see, another problem that we are facing is whatever, either we go for the 3 front line or 2 front line. 2 front lines cannot help us, because we need we need this goal. They cannot help us because they're going to spread them apart. They won't be able to press. But if we have the 3 front line of Mount, I know Mount can press. Felix is not going to press for you. We need players that can press. I can only point out Raheem Sterling can press. Mount can press. I can point out Mount. I can be sure of Mount, but I'm not really sure about Sterling and Mudryk. But Felix is not going to press. If we can press them, they're not going to make mistake in the defense.
Gallagher can press, but coach is right. I don't want to see Gallagher and Mount.
No. Gallagher can press, but I'm not too keen about him like that.
Do you think it's possible we would play a 4-4-2?
4-4-2.
I've never seen Frank do that.
Yeah,
no. I'm just saying though.
I've never seen succeeding in that thing that has never worked for us. I would have preferred us to go for what has been working for us and let people come back to their senses.
What's been working for us though?
No, in the past, yes, the back line has been working for us. They just have
But
to
anything you bring in the
personnel.
past that has worked for us, if you're talking really something that we haven't done for a while, then I think it will lead to some measure of confusion. Yeah, because she's going to change. Yeah, go ahead.
We haven't been consistent at all year. We've been chopping and changing, not just players, but formations. We, for the most part, have, if you look at, especially Potter, if you have a look, he chops and changes every 3-4 games for 3 or 4 games. There's never been a level of consistency. Now, some say that's his strength, but then Frank's come in and we've actually played, 3 different formations in 3 games. And I'm shocked about that.
I'm shocked too. I'm surprised he did that. I couldn't believe it.
I didn't expect that at all, Coach. I thought he'd come in and use the same formation each and every game to add stability, because that was the antithesis with which Potter played. So I don't understand that.
See, any manager that you see that chop and change tactics is going to confuse the player. They're not going to be good at anything. They're just going to be average. Check all the big teams. They stick to one the line, stick to one tactics, and they just fine tune it based on the opponent. If you're sticking by 3 back line, always fine tune it. 3-5-2, you can play it in different dynamics, 3 different dynamics. Either defensive, play defensive, play counter, or play pressing. You can do it in different ways to confuse your opponent. But when you go 3 back line today, 4 back line, or 2 back line, 1 back line, 8 back line, you are confusing the hell out of your player. They are not going to be good at anything.
When is the last time Real Madrid played with a back 3? They just simply, I think they predominantly always play with a back 4, don't they?
Every time they play with back 4.
Yes.
Back 4, they play 4-3-3.
Yeah.
They play 4-3-3, 4-3-3, yeah. That's what they play for.
That's the structure they play predominantly.
And they never change it. They just change the personnel sometimes, but they keep that formation. Even Pep, he keeps his personnel, he keeps his formation tight. They change the personnel and they change the dynamics of approach.
And the last time he changed it, he lost in the championship game to us.
So when when Tuchel was here, it's a shame that you see a lot of Chelsea fans. They thought, change this thing, change it, do this, do that, do this, do that. But you don't understand how this soccer game works. You play back too much, There is a reason for playing back. Is to keep the possession, recycle the ball, keep the player together.
Let me catch up with the chat. Go ahead, Roger. If you wanted to add something
about playing back was, especially with J5, it was just too laborious, too slow. I don't mind passing back to keep possession. Of course, I understand possession based, but do it with speed, do it with incisiveness. This is, after all, an entertainment business, and I found it not very entertaining. That's all I have to say. I understand what you're saying, though.
Yeah. You see, that the problem with J5 is that they do it too slow. Yes. And sometimes you can do it very fast, but if you look at it very well, see, let's be honest with ourselves. If you want to be fast with it, they don't train you to be fast. It's a natural thing. Now let's look at all our backline during that period. J5 slow, Silva slow. Who else is in there? When you have about 2-3 players in the defense line that are very slow, there's nothing you can do about it. It is a natural thing. When I used to play soccer, I was a striker, but I'm not fast, and that is the problem I had. I couldn't become a professional because I was a bit slow. You cannot train somebody to be fast. It is a natural thing. You can improve on it, but it's the natural course will take effect.
All right, let me catch up with the chat so we can go ahead to building the lineup. So we don't have too much time today. We started 1 hour late. Gallagher or Mount, I would say if Mount is fully fit, I would take Mount over Gallagher. He's more experienced of the two on his day. I think he can do better than Mount. That's not a justice. Having Chalobah facing issues We'll see how Lampard starts Gallagher over Mount. Makes my eyes hurt. I don't think he's intentionally starting Gallagher over Mount. It looks like Mount is still lacking fitness or something, or still not, should I say, mentally available, if there's anything like that. Back three or back five, you still concede goals. Let's see what happens. What else do we have here? We don't have a player so for back three for this game. That's the way I see it. But let's see. We have a vote, 16 votes, and 31% thinks it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. 25% thinks it's going to be 4-3-3, which is, to me, I say as suicidal. 25% think it's going to be 3-5-2, and 90% think it's going to be 3-4-3. But in a beat, I think I'll short down the post, so we're going to build in the lineup. England should consider Gallagher in the next Olympics game. At least he runs. Oh my goodness, Ovier, don't. I'm not gonna read. I want to go to heaven, please. Who will play if Korea is not playing? If Korea isn't playing, I don't know how to answer that question really. I think this game does screams for a back four. Given that I don't see Lampard starting Korea in the left center back position in this game, I don't know if he trusts him well enough. I just wanted to remind everyone of the unavoidable beatdown we are about to receive at the bridge. Remember, you say this, if we end up not losing that game or beating Real Madrid, even if we don't get through, I'll remind you that. Leave Korea alone and he will play. Wow. Okay. Chalobah or Mudryk in defense. If you're playing the left center back, then yeah, Chalobah, obviously, but I'm sure that's not what you were asking. Walmart knock of Cinderella over Chalobah. Big up everyone and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please, again, if you're watching, if you haven't, drop a like on the stream. We have 49 likes. Let's get it to at least 50 and shoot for 100 by the time the show ends if we can. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, my bro from the Madiba line, the coolest chaz. Thank you for joining the show. If you haven't, go check out his channel and be sure to subscribe. Today is 4-3-3. Lamps should play what he knows, and he's already expected to lose. Mount and Kante just need to service in the middle. I think Kante starts, and I don't see a situation where Lampard leaves out Kovacic. I think he's going to find a structure that will accommodate him with accommodate Kovacic, Kante, and Enzo Fernandez. You could say Kovacic didn't start the last game because he was resting him for this one. That's why I prefer smaller center backs like Militao and Ramos, who are faster than taller CBs. Wow. First goal is important. If we score first, we can win with good atmosphere at the bridge. I agree. Bobby, 4-3-3. 4-3-3. Nah, please. If we do that, we will lose. I think so too. Every time we've tried to play with that structure, the players look so confused. It's not funny. I won't be surprised to turn things around if and only they wake up from their nightmare. Nice to see you, Astinos. Why Westinus 94? Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. If Enzo puts the ball, it gives us a balance. What is his job? Yeah, I'm not sure. That's mad. If some of us actually expected we need help. Well, you have to support our club. How can we put Lewis Hall for this game? Even think about that. And he's saying,
Coach.
Yeah.
You keep saying 4-3-3. They don't know how to play it, and then you keep saying they have to play 4 at the back. Look,
you can play 4 at the back, and it's 4-2-3-1.
No, you can't play two midfielders. You have to pack the midfield. 4-3-3 converting to 4-5-1 is the only thing he can do. Now, you're saying, you might say, oh, that's a bit too defensive in terms of the 4-5-1. Not necessarily. If your two wingers are able to tuck in to support the midfield, then you can give Real Madrid something to think about. Your striker has got to be Havertz. We have no choice. I don't think João Felix is effective there, and Raheem Sterling certainly isn't effective there. Now, can they play on the flanks? Yeah, possibly. if they tuck in to support the midfield, yes. People have spoken about Mudryk. Well, it's either or. Either you have Mudryk or Felix or Mudryk or Sterling. But if you're going to go with a flat back four, you must have you must have three in midfield, one of which has to be a bit of a CDM. Now, people are saying, "Oh, Mount should come in and all that." Don't care. I think the midfield has got to be. What's the guy we got on loan? Zakaria, Enzo. I know he likes Kovacic a lot, but I would go Zakaria, Enzo, and Kante in that middle. The attack I would have, as I've said, at the top, Havertz. Now, as far as I'm concerned, where you can gamble is instead of playing the experience of both Sterling and Felix, which hasn't proved particularly effective anyway, I would try Mudryk. He likes to play Felix a lot, Mudryk and Felix, and bring Sterling off the bench. That would be the team. That has to be the team.
And I agree with you. I don't think what's his name, Sterling, Rogers' cousin should start this game. I don't think so.
No, Mount can't start the game. Now, it's not about not having something against Mount. I mean, if you really want Mount, if he's fit, then you play.
I don't think it's been something isn't quite right with Mount that Lampard thinks even Lampard didn't start him.
Then he goes on the bench as well. However, that midfield must be compact because that's where we get beaten. You watch when Chilwell came off, the goal that Kepa palmed into the path of
Benzema.
Of Benzema. Yeah. I personally think it was because of a lapse in midfield. You might say, our right back was beaten and so on.
No, I agree with that, Bobby.
Yeah, well,
I think Roger agrees, and I agree with that. We've been clamoring how our midfielders hasn't been protecting the defense properly. But go ahead,
Bobby. I'm actually watching the game right now, and literally within 3 or 4 seconds prior to you saying that actually transpired.
There you go.
And he had so much time in the midfield. That's what I'm saying. We have to press the midfield.
It's a midfield problem. So, it's all very well Frank talking about, there's not enough fight and yada, yada, yada. You create the fight by creating the personnel. You have to pack the midfield. Do you know that one of the best games I've seen Chelsea play was with the so-called part-time manager that took over from Graham Potter? Bruno. And what did Bruno do against Liverpool? He packed the midfield. We had 3 in midfield. And we were so solid. We looked so much better. The only thing is the age-old problem of not finishing was the issue. But in terms of who was superior as a team in that game, it was us. So if we do that against Real Madrid, let's see what will happen. I think the players will be motivated. If as a footballer, you're not motivated for a game like this, you shouldn't be playing football, really. Yeah.
Do you know another key to the match, if I can quickly say, Bobby and gentlemen, is I think a key is getting Reece forward for crosses. But I don't think he can afford that much because of Vinicius' speed. And I think that was a telling factor also.
Well, you're very right, because in the flat back 4, he will be at the right back position.
Yeah.
Now, your right back doesn't necessarily have to be flat, as it were. He will have opportunities to go forward, but there won't be that much. The forward thrust has to come from the wingers.
Yes.
And that's where the question of who is going to be at that right wing.
And it's not just his crosses, Bobby. He has in his locker the ability to score and score quite well. His goals are wonderful. He's a very good player, shooting wise. Better, it seems, than most of our other forwards. You know,
I mean, he can overlap. He can come forward.
Exactly.
It all depends on who is in midfield, because the midfielders will be filling in for such a marauding right back, as it were.
Bobby, let me quickly jump in. You see, if you look back in the last match against Real Madrid, we did that in the first 3-5 minutes, and we created chances.
Yes.
But immediately when they noticed the space in between James going forward and the defender Fofana, they capitalized on the space in between. How did that happen? When we win the ball back from them, James is far away. Fofana is behind. We try to go back into the attack immediately. They win the ball from the midfield. James is far down the line. There's a space behind him, and they capitalize on those spaces. Before he will run back, they're already in our third half.
That's where Zakaria comes in.
But
that's
I want to
your
say
midfield comes in.
Whoever they're playing the third midfielder, as in the trio, have to fill in the gap to the right side to help out. But the last match, we didn't see all that. We did not see all that. It's just too porous. This is coaching 101 for Lampard. Something has to be done.
Guys, honestly, I personally believe if only Lampard can humble himself, and whoever takes over at Chelsea, he goes in as a number 2. Now, I know he'll never do that. But if he goes in as an assistant,
I don't think he'd do that.
No, he won't. He's too big-headed. But remember, Robbie Di Matteo did it. He was a manager after he finished his career. He was an assistant. When he came to take over for Chelsea in the Champions League winning team, it was only because he was assisting, was it Villas-Boas? I can't remember. It was Villas-Boas that was sacked, and then he took over. He was the assistant. So Lampard needs to be an assistant. He shouldn't be a head coach. But will he do that? No, which is really sad, because he would learn a lot if he did.
All right, let me catch up with the chat. We'll start building the lineup immediately, but I want to get Dave's opinion on the structure with a minute or two. Same thing with IBZ, so we'll start building the lineup. We'll have about 1 hour to get that done. Hello, new here. Big up. We qualified today. I hope to see that, my friend. And welcome to the channel. Feel at home. Express yourself. We cannot score because Zad in Drogba scored all the goals we needed in the future in 2023. Stop. And you're here, you have to explain yourself. 3-4-3, Kante and Zakaria in the double pivot. Zakaria hadn't played and will do better. Mount and Ainsley central with Mudryk. Felix Pulisic up front. We'll get to that. We'll start working on that in a bit. That's correct. We needed to keep and hide the ball. A lot of people don't see that. Well, unfortunately, Camavinga, 4 midfielders. If we are gonna play with just 2 up front. Okay, I'm gonna skip quite a few. You have quite a lot there. Eugene. Sky Sports are reporting that Chelsea's deal to sign wonderkid Kendrick Pies has been approved by the FA. So I read something to that effect to myself. If Zakaria doesn't play tonight, we lose the battle in the midfield. Let me get one more thing from Timo Werner will cook for Leipzig. So Sterling's goes for City doesn't mean nothing. Yeah, that's the truth. Let's see what we have here. We should have dropped Kovacic's playing Mount and Kante. Okay, like I said, hate or love Kovacic. If he doesn't play, we will find it difficult to even progress the ball when we want to. Kepa is giving out tactics information. Bally giving dressing room speeches. Worst manager. We cannot score. We're losing 4-0. More Chelsea. Let's see what happens today. Napoli versus AC Milan 0-2. Thanks for that prediction there. Mount as a 10 for his pressing capability. Kante for interceptions in the midfield as one of the 2 sexes. I think I'll take that. That's a good lineup. But I think most likely, if we're going to play with a 10 today, it will most likely be Kai Havertz or Felix. We need to play 4-2-3-1. I think that's what we're going to see. To score goals, we need Havertz to keep Rudiger busy, and we need Mudryk, Felix, and Mount running in front, in from behind, back four with Reece James doubling down on Vinicius. I think he would be more effective not to be deployed in the manner of which where he'd be busy attacking and leave us vulnerable at the back. I think it wouldn't be bad to be a bit cautious, even though we need goals. Except if we score the first goal and when Real Madrid comes out with full force, then maybe we can switch up. Without Makunju, I haven't seen you why I hope you're well. Please do let me know. Without tactical discipline, we cannot beat Real Madrid. That means that team is both a tactical and a talented. Lampard will limit our team today. He utterly lacks any form of in-game management. That I can agree with you. Gallagher is fighting for his future, for Chelsea future. He can keep it if we sell Mount. I don't. If we sell Mount, then we could keep him because we don't have any other player that will measure him in terms of the industry he brings to the team. He's very unique. 4-2-3-1, Kante and Enzo, CDM, Mount, and all the names you mentioned there. Gallagher is fighting for his. Yep, I've read that. 3-4-3 and no Kepa in goal. We should press and not play from the back. We need the speed and skill. Mudryk, Felix, Mount, and the three can shoot. Kante and Enzo in the midfield. Coco James as wing backs. Okay, some argument there, but I'm going to skip quite a few things there and get to the very bottom. JC says Zakaria was awful and too rusty. Kante is still not fully fit. Starting them two is not happening. Two of them are not going to start. If anything, Kante starts and Zakaria will not start. Mount, if we start the two of them, then we'll be sacrificing quite a lot offensively. Mount scores goals on his day. Yeah, those days are a rare commodity these days, though. You have to follow up your own comment with another comment. Big up to you, DJ, my bro. Always nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Big up Kuchela, the panel, and everyone in the chat. Are we all up for a win tonight? How we all feeling? Like I said, I'm not looking forward to it that much, but I still believe anything can happen until the man in the middle blows the final whistle. That's when you look at the result and say, okay, we're done or we're not done. I just can't say my team will lose. I'm not into that. Real Madrid will troll Chelsea if Kepa is goalkeeping. He was he did the press conference, and Lampard, his comments shows I think he's sticking with Kepa. Kachila, do we have available players to start same lineup as against Dortmund? And if we can use same tactics, if Chilwell is missing, can we use Mudryk there in the wing back position? I would do that. It's a bold move, but with an attacking intent, not because he's a defender, if that makes sense. Play Zakaria and Kante as double pivot. Double pivot will be lacking a lot. Believe me. Zakaria isn't fully fit. If you haven't sensed that yourself, Kachila and panelists need to be realists and wake up. We have a game in a few hours. I suggest our team to wear extra guts against being spanked. Be merciful there. Zakaria looks horrible against Brighton. What in the world? Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. That game against Brighton, I refuse to isolate any players' performance. The team overall was awful. If that makes any sort of sense to you, it's not that sort of game where I can look at it and say one player was just awful. No. If anything, you pick out the good players, which was Badia Shile, Gallagher, and Mudryk. That's the only thing and Kepa. That's the only thing I want to do. The problem is Madrid can get the ball off of us by just putting pressure on the defense. We cannot do the same to them. Yep, I agree with you. And they exploit something else you said there. They will exploit that gaps and punish us. Yep, I did a Twitter review on that. We have a problem because we need goals. We just don't need a goal. We need the 3 goals to overcome the deficit and then progress. We need
Houston,
to win them
we
by
have
3
a problem.
goals. Yeah, we have a problem. So we have to attack, and that leaves us which means they will find spaces, and they're capable of, if they get 3 chances, they score 5. If you understand what I mean by that. Madrid is so one-dimensional. Benzema and Vinicius both they've won how many Champions League in a row with that one-dimensional approach?
Yeah, I'd like that dimension, please.
Yeah, I want that. Constantin Dante, hello to you, my bro. Always nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Havertz will be more effective on the bench. Okay, if that's what you think, have you noticed that we've been actually worse off without him available, even hate him or love him? This will be our last year for Champions League game for a while. A lot of people say that. Saying hello to Glenn there. If we scored one goal in the first half, then it's on. Yeah, if we score first, then it's on. Score an early goal, yeah, then it's on, really. We need a focal point tonight. So Kai, for me, has to start. Unfortunately, we don't have any number 9, whether traditional or hybrid in the sport. Why? I don't know. Kai and Mount start for me. I think Mount, if he's fully fit, I think he starts. Lampard trusts him. As you can say, he's one of his trusted, most trusted in that team in particular. Yep. Are you correct, brother Glenn? I'm sounding like when the church, brother Glenn. The smallest errors from the Blues and Madrid would turn those errors into goals. They are just different. Yep. Whether they're one-dimensional or not. Kyle, with his aerial ability, and listen, we're supposed to do again a giveaway for students, but we're not going to do it today. I don't think we'll have enough people, and we don't have too much time. Probably tomorrow, we'll most likely do it tomorrow. Ariel, yeah, I understood that. Objection, objection overruled, brother Glenn. Kofi Kwandan. So maybe you guys didn't notice, but Madrid players were marking each and every single player, even if they didn't have the ball, because probably realized would struggle to play out from the back. And that's a good observation right there. Coachella, our CFC fans have been coddled too much by Romanians. We finally are required to develop thick skin. Easy days are gone. As for after today's game, nobody is serving us free lunches. We know that long before. Now, let me just get this one from Logan. Some players are physically fast but very slow in decision making. They think too much to pass or shoot. This is one of our biggest problem here. I'm going to come to you quickly, Dave, if you're still there. Is Dave still there? Did he leave?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Bigger brother, your thoughts, what structure, quickly, with a minute or two, because we need to start to build on the lineup. We don't have too much time. What structure do you think he goes with and why?
Even before I even take it to the structure level, first, good morning to everyone.
Good morning to you too.
Hope y'all having a wonderful
morning.
I want to say, like, in a football game, there's 3 important stage that makes the game lovely. To put a team together, you need first individual players and individual brilliance, and second, you need a tactical, which means an identity of the team, and the third, you need a coach to come and save the game when things is looking like the players can't figure it out. Now, out of these 3 stages, we are suffering. We are losing all these 3 stages. There's no reason why Reece James can push forward because Vinicius is by the bully Fofana. Like, at this point, Fofana, if we sign you for 80 million, you're supposed to put in your individual performance against a top player, because if we give you that money, that means we're considering you a top future player. So that means for Reece James have to drop back to support Fofana against Vinicius, that leaves us a lot of that leaves us open also with less chances for Reece James to cross. It is not fair for James to do both at the same time, to want to run forward and take a cross, and at the same time have to babysit Fofana. So my point here is, like, this Chelsea team, we've paid a lot of players high money who are not even top class, who are not even individually brilliant at the back to begin with. Look at Koulibaly. Look at
Who is
Cucurella.
that school?
Oh no, I'm a technician. I'm in my
No,
office.
I know. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to know.
And now we find ourselves in a situation where individually we have some rotten fruit in our team. You can't mix rotten fruit with ripe fruit. Everything will rot together. You bring in attacking players like Mudryk and all these talented guys who used to play with talented midfielders, who used to play with talented defenders. You bring them at Chelsea, where we are suffering with the same midfields for almost 2 seasons. We are here destroying players to begin with. Because when we needed the most important place of football to change, which is the midfield, we didn't. We brought in defenders and we brought in forwards. Now, when the game starts from goal kick, the ball has to go to the defenders. Then it has to go to the midfielders. And the midfielders have to find our forwards. You guys watch these games with me. The ball stop in the middle every time. And if it gets forward, it's either an ugly pass or it's a ball for the attacks to go and, chase the ball or something. And that's where we've had our problem, in between when the ball gets to our defense and our midfield. But getting the ball to our forwards, we need our genius coach to get the ball to our attackers so they can attack. But individually, if you're a Chelsea player at this level and you can't find the ball or take the ball to our forward, then we have a problem. If you can't get the ball, then do the basic one. Because a coach should not have all this assignment to teach you how to find a forward player and let the forward cook. That's why we suffered our last game against Real Madrid when we played that 5-3-2. And we put in Sterling and Felix up top. Like, what?
So just quickly, because we don't have too much time, and I always like to have you on the panel. What structure do you think it deploys and why? We have just about we have less than 40 minutes to get done with a lineup, predicted lineup exercise. So what structure do you think he plays?
What structure? Oh my God. I think we ran out of structures. We've tried everything.
Roger, did you hear that one?
Oh yeah.
I will bring you a structure right here. What we should have used like probably a year ago and build upon that. But I don't even know what to say. I don't know. If we're gonna play against Real Madrid, let's put him in a random structure and let's blame Frank Palau part. So I'll probably say 3-4-3. Instead of playing that 4-4-2, just put a 3-4-3.
Why is that? Why 3-4-3?
Because it seems to be like whenever you leave Henzo with Kovacic, they have enough space to cook for some reason. But when you put in a 3 midfield of Kante, Henzo, and Kovacic, it seems too tight for each other to drive the ball forward for some reason.
Well, when they were effective against Liverpool, the three of them.
Against Liverpool, maybe because Liverpool was trash. They was just pressing anyhow. Maybe that's why. Maybe, but that 3 midfield, Thomas Tuchel has tried it before. There were days that it worked, and there were days that it didn't work. And the reason why I prefer to do the 3-4-3 is because if we push our wingers higher, I say wingers, I meant to say our wing backs. If we leave them higher up top there, in between Enzo and Kante, one push forward and one stay back. And if you put Mudryk as a left wing and a right wing, let's put another pacey guy there, maybe Sterling or Pulisic. And in the middle, maybe Kai Havertz or something. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this will force Real Madrid to play at least a made tactics formation to stay in the middle of the midfield or something.
You don't think they'll overrun the midfield though?
Well, overrunning the midfield, it will happen regardless. I mean, if we put a 3 midfield, this is what I do not see. We've tried it a lot. This 3-5-2. Whenever we play this 3-5-2, this midfield doesn't cook. All we do is counter attack. And then if you're gonna play counter attack, at least let's have a player up top who's gonna be a threat. Because if you're gonna play a 3-5-2, look against Real Madrid. The ball came back in less than like 10 seconds. Our forwards could even get past them. So it will be a lot of pressure on us, our own self. We're gonna bite our own tail if we're gonna play. That's technically gonna be like we defending. We playing in London. We playing at home. So if I put a 3-4-3, it's to attack.
Unfortunately, our home hasn't felt like it's a home to us for a while now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's the reason why I prefer that. Because
let me catch up with the. Go ahead if you're still talking.
No, I was gonna say whenever we play that tight midfield of a 3-5-2. When was the last time we scored? I mean, our midfield doesn't cook right now. All we do is just play counter attacks.
Anything counter attacks. Every formation. When's the last time we scored with a 2? It's
absolutely. But I feel like with the 2, there's more space and possession that we've done so far. Underground port that we've seen
with possession, but without possession, they're going to overrun us, and therefore they'll have time to pass, just like Carvajal did, that scored against us. That's my only fear.
Yeah. Yeah, Roger, if you don't mind, go ahead if you're
go
still
for it.
speaking.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay. Mudryk to start. I think he starts, and for reasons I've explained before, not just today. I think I've talked about that during the pregame show before that, when I wanted him to start because he's done well against Real Madrid. He did so well that the Real Madrid fans applauded him. He played with was it Carvajal on the right hand side? I think. Who was that again? He mopped the floor with him on the day, and he's shown that he can actually do well for us. And look at the game against Brighton; he was excellent. Maybe because his family is now in the UK. Like I've heard something. I think I heard that his family is now in the UK. Maybe he's settled now and he's doing well. For us, I think he starts. We cannot go with Sterling, Mudryk, and Pulisic. For me, it has to be Havertz, Felix, and Mudryk. Let's see what he does. Kai has no pace, and he couldn't hold up a feather. Jason Pierce, nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well. I think Kai's pace is underrated because he's tall.
It's deceiving because he's got a long
it's deceiving.
stride.
I think he's a quick player on this day, but the whole thing, we haven't been deploying him in areas where you could say his pace is really needed. The Madrid team is complaining about the ref. I heard that too, and the Spanish media. Well, something we can say, I hope the ref, he favors us. The first time I'm seeing opposition complaining about the ref officiating the game, I think that is just something they just try to get him to be conscious of what he's doing, not to maybe to give us too much. Team Soda Madrid, yeah, I've read that one there, and I think I know who this is. This is my friend Image. Correct me if you're not the one. Nollywood Action TV. I think I know that's my friend Image. Are you trying to see if it works or not by typing the H? It's the H. Loftus Cheek will start. Cause English and unfit. Wow. Dante, you're going too far. We don't mention nationality here when we talk about such things. I think if he starts, it's because he warrants to start. But I think I don't see him starting. Why? Because he's not been fit from what I'm learning, and I think there are other players I think Lampard will prioritize over him. Hope we trained on the rebound in case we hit the post. Again. I think that's a solid argument. I wouldn't argue against that. Amos Commander, Mendy, Aspi, Chalobah, Silva, Mudryk, James Enzo, Kante, Kai, Havertz, Mount, and Pulisic. Good lineup there. Sign Balogun from Arsenal. It's going to be really difficult to get him. I know. Is he out of contract already? What's the situation? Can you further explain, Kimso? So why the hell did they buy them? I don't know. You asked them. Jason, okay, is responding to him. Go ahead. Has to be a 3-4-3 attacking, but Lamp's favorite is 4-3-3. I think he's probably has seen the risk of playing 4-3-3. That was the first structure he deployed during his first game. The start of his second stint, wasn't it, Roger?
Who is this, sir?
Lampard. During his second stint, he started with 4-3-3, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to look.
And it was disaster. I think Lampard has to strap the old boots back on. Then he can coach on the pitch to our dummies. They know we have to attack, so they will do what Real does best: counter with Vinicius Junior, Valverde, and Benzema. We need to keep our shape at the back. We need to find a balance, a perfect balance between us wanting to get goals and also ensuring we don't concede one. But we're going to attack more, and the spaces will be there for them to exploit. And believe me, if they get 3 chances, they score 5 goals. Lampard needs to go for it a full attack, overwhelm Madrid if we can somehow, especially the first goal will be very important, and we need to be clinical more importantly. Nothing to lose. Just go for it. It's as simple as that. Kuchila, Lampard to have keeping up his competition with Carlo on the sideline. Lampard has been training for it since he came in Madrid. I think he should. I think he should. I don't. Why was the camera on him? I can do that. My 6-year-old can do that very well too. And maybe because Carlo did it on the sideline, the Chelsea cameraman has to show him doing that too. had to show him just to measure. I don't know what it's. And see what people are saying online about it, like that wins you games. I cannot believe Todd bought Sterling. He's the worst. That's why. Pep got rid of him. I'm guessing that's what you meant to type. I bet he had to hold the laughter in. Yeah, possibly. Felix, we start because of flashy tricks with no end products. Oh my goodness. I didn't want Mudryk and Mudryk to be. They cannot. Mudryk can, but Mudryk cannot. He's not in the Champions League squad. Correct me if I'm wrong. At this stage, I am leaving it to gods of football and see the boys go hard. So the what I have here, the poll, 30% says 4-3-3. Wow. Okay, and 28% says 3-4-3. 4-2-3-1, 19%. So we go for 4-3-3. But we'll see what Frank does. Bobby, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, we all really don't have much confidence for today. However, there's one thing that always brings out the best in Chelsea. It's when they have nothing really to lose. I'm a firm believer that fortune favors the brave. I think it's very important we play Kai Havertz as a top nine today. I think this is his game. And I think I forgot about Ashley. It's been so long since we've had him.
Yeah.
But since we're going to have to be having a slight eye looking behind, Ashley can play in that flat back four, and we move Reece James into one of the three in midfield. That way he'll have his opportunities to put in his crosses, and he will have his opportunity to go forward. Having a Ashley at the right back, a centre-back pairing of Silva and Fofana, left back for me has to be Cucurella, and having a midfield Enzo, Reece James, and Kante, and then up top Havertz, Mudryk, and dare I say Felix. I think we'll give them a lot to think about. The thing with Real Madrid, they are a fantastic side, but they're not a side that deals with being made uncomfortable. I keep saying that today because the key to beating Real Madrid is taking them out of their comfort zone. Their comfort zone is, one, they always have things their way. Two, it's interesting. It will be very interesting to see how they'll respond with their lead threatened. Now, they are actually quite one-dimensional. They really are. And that's why scoring first is quite important. If we score, and by some miracle score again, I think they'll be flustered, and we'll have the opportunity to play counter-attacks. Now, how will they cope with that? Their defense is good, yes. Their midfield is good, yes. But if they're flooding forward, they're vulnerable. That's how I see them. They can leave spaces open. The only strength they have is that they're very good at finishing. They usually are good at scoring. But if you defend well, you can even stop them from doing that also. They struggled to beat us at the Bernabeu. They lost to us the last time at the Bernabeu. And this time they struggled to beat us and only really overcame us when we went down to 10 men. So it's not that impossible. A lot of it depends on us. I don't see Real Madrid as this team that's we
unbeatable.
can't overcome. Yeah, I don't at all. I don't.
No, we know that. We witnessed that firsthand ourselves. Tuchel did it.
We could have done it 2 years in a row. Timo Werner even scored.
I think another factor.
Yeah, he did.
Another factor is that their keeper is in prolific form. his shot stopping ability. He's a big man, you know.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really hard to score.
And it looks like he goes up a gear whenever he sees Chelsea.
Exactly.
He does.
He
does,
resents
but,
us.
Courtois is another one. You make him uncomfortable, then what can he do? It's very much a psychology, and something that has given me hope is all this talk of referees. Everybody knows that Chelsea never get favor with referees. Mm-hmm. Are they trying to play that card? Why would
I think that's what they're trying. That's how I see it.
Yes.
Exactly. So why would a team like Real Madrid want to look for advantages? It tells me they're afraid. And sometimes there's nothing worse than a 2-goal lead. I think we've got nothing else. We're at the base now. We were shit against Brighton. We're down. So when you're down, the only way is up. We have to be brave. I can't think of any other way now for us to play this football and to say to hell with you and your dog, come to the bridge, and you've taken the wrong turn. We're going to mess you up today. And that's our attitude. And we will win this game. The question is by how much? And do you know what? We could make today, the 18th of April 2023, as one of the greatest days in Chelsea football history. We can do this if we believe, and we say to hell with you. You've done your worst now. Okay, let's go play football. I mean, that's just, if we go there thinking, oh, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, oh gosh, if we attack, they'll counter-attack. To hell with Madrid. We can stuff these people. Because I've just thought about it. Why the hell are these people talking about a referee? When has Chelsea ever had the favor of referees? They're scared. They're scared.
Yeah. It's a dangerous scoreline.
Yeah, go ahead, Roger. We have a few minutes to round off. We have to talk about the lineup of players.
Bobby's right. It's a dangerous scoreline, the old adage. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, it is. I think Frank Lampard doesn't fancy Mudryk here. I wouldn't say that. He has this, a few games to play for us, and he has to put his coaching career back on track. If Mudryk plays, we'll win. I hope so. Yes, the usual Chelsea, but this is not the usual Chelsea. Okay, let's see what happens. I have been saying that White's not playing our captain, Aspie. It's like we don't need leadership on field. But he's been injured for a while. Factor that into your comment there. He's been injured for a while. Plus, he's not the quickest anymore. In this game, I think Reece James is better off. In my opinion.
Coach, sorry to cut in again. Listen, this injured. Every Chelsea player is injured. Every player we name, we always say, oh, he's injured. Mount, oh, he's injured. Ruben, oh, he's injured. Then play the whole bloody lot of them. Let them go there with broken legs and all that. We've got nothing to lose. We're at the bottom. So if Aspie's injured, play him. Put him at the back. Don't tell him, don't go forward. Don't go past the halfway line. Put Reece in front of him and go for it. That's what I say. He's
all
injured.
Right.
They're all
Coach,
injured.
I would rather I will put Enzo and bench Kovacic and put Zakaria as a DM and have Kante and Enzo as midfielders.
Okay, that's your opinion, but I'm coming back to you guys. I have been saying these. I have been saying that. Sorry. Why not? Why have we not been playing our captain last week? Like I've told you, he's not been fit. Especially in a back three, always solid in the right centre back position, maybe, but he's not that Aspie you used to know. I still think there's something on him. Like I said, he's an excellent 1v1, even though he's lost pace. The key is using pace against them, like Mbappe last year. I think Mudryk deserves to start this game. We keep talking about players individually, who should play and who shouldn't. But the truth is, there's no sign of teamwork, and this makes me disappointed. Chelsea are not a team anymore. You could argue that Bobby is right. Klopp moved the Trent into midfield last night, and he did look like he was made for the position. Reece has played in the midfield before, so that will make it easier maybe. But let's see what Frank Lampard does. Yes, I agree. We need pace. These coaches don't get it. We need pace. Pace will be important against Madrid. Azpilicueta is an amazing man. I would never put him down. He has been a Chelsea legend, but he's old. I'm not going to talk about. We can't say he's old if Thiago Silva is still nearly 40 and still playing and effectively. So I'm not going to talk about his age. I'm just going to say he's lost pace. Maybe Roger is the GOAT. Real Madrid players are scared about the referee. They are. That's the truth. And Bobby emphasizes that even further. Roger lands the Mineros. Okay, Roger, you better go join the Mineros team right now. Big up everybody. Vinicius will eat Aspi. Yeah, Bobo, Bardi, 7, nice to see you here. Let's see what we have here. It says, Bobo Bardi first. It's Robert that he shouldn't be eating meat. Okay. Yeah, we played well against Liverpool. That cannot be our reference point because we played a depleted midfield. The only way we can play this game successfully is to play 3 at the back. We need to press and feed. And please, let's be careful how we mention religion and what they what they see as sacred. Sometimes we may say that's a joke, and it may come across as some as you're playing with a religion. If the players have the game of their life, and Lampard does a madness and Bally keeps his nose out of the dressing room, then I think we can keep the Madrid scoreline down to 0-4. Wow. So is that how you're saying? Okay, just quickly coming to you, Roger. What do you think about the players I've picked already? I don't think we'll have too much time.
Yeah, first of all, I think Kim So was talking about Bobby, not me.
Okay.
Yeah, so Silva, Fofana, I think that's Kovacic, Enzo. Yes, this is exactly the lineup I would choose. I think that's the obvious one. Those are the obvious choices. I think he's going to go with experience. Like, I can't see him playing Hall anywhere, even though I really rate him. I think he's going to go with this tried and tested lineup.
Yeah, I think he's going to go with experience set. So what do you make of the back four? Silva and Fofana centrally to his right, James left, Cucurella. Here, essentially, Enzo deeper, Kante to his right, Kovacic to his left. Okay, how about you, Dave? What do you think?
I will bench Fofana, put Reece James there, and I'll put Robert Loftus-Cheek as a right back, because Fofana
in the back four,
absolutely. Because
all right,
my reason is because Fofana is good against teams like Everton and Brighton and Newcastle. Maybe Newcastle. These low mid-team tables. Fofana is great. You put Fofana against a champion team, Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid. Now you see the role now you see that Fofana has to improve. Not to talk down on the guy, but me personally, I'll put Silva with James at the back and put Robin Loftus-Cheek as a right back, just like how we did last year when we won at Real Madrid's home, but we at the same time lost. That's what I would prefer.
That was their back three. You're playing 2 people out of position, and you're losing the forward capabilities of James, ergo his crosses and his shooting ability.
But so it also
too many detractions, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, I don't know, but he does great on that side for some reason. He's physical. He drives the ball forward. Only if he knows how to cross the ball, that will have been almost close to Reece James. And at the same time, so I do believe he could track back. He might not have the pace, but for you to run past him, you're gonna feel him first. You know what I'm saying?
And aerially, he's good. I get it, but
he's good early too.
But who's a better right back? Are you looking at Reece or are you looking at Loftus-Cheek? And I think it's unequivocal.
It's Reece James. Reece James is a better right back.
So that's a detraction in and of itself, just in that one position, if you see what I'm saying. I get your logic. I just don't think, A, I don't think it will ever transpire, and B, I see too many negatives as opposed to positives. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. Because if Fofana, I don't know, but if Fofana plays today, I don't want to jinx it, but we might get a penalty. We might get a penalty.
He has to play the top of his game, Maybe this is his coming out game. Who knows? But because, I see your hesitation. Though.
We did not really replace Rudiger, bringing a guy called Koulibaly. I don't know what Koulibaly doing.
No, he was never going to be Rudiger's replacement. If anything, honestly, I'm saying this with full confidence. I think he's a more intelligent player than Rudiger. Rudiger is just more aggressive than him. And I don't think he's done badly. That's my opinion, if you understand.
And this is Champions League and not the Premier League. And also, we lost Christensen also, as well as Rudiger. So I think we had no choice to get a player like Koulibaly. And Koulibaly, listen, he's... You only really notice how good he is when he's not on the field. And we'll see that tonight.
Yeah, let's see. Madrid struggles against pacey players. That's the truth. Coach, my son come up with a good strategy for the team. He says,
what? Let me read
it. Let's guess it.
Yeah, very funny.
It's become a joke. What RSC has right back with an attacking intent, I'm guessing. Let's see what else we have here. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, hell no. Yeah, I disagree too, but if you pay attention, he's explaining with an attacking intent, but I don't think that will ever happen. He will definitely play Loftus-Cheek. I don't think he'd play him today. Let's watch out. We need tall players. You sounded like Bobby now. Kepa in goal. We can now make it 4 out of 6 shots from outside the box. 2 out of 5 set piece will go in with Kepa. Kepa comes with nothing, not even luck. I'm going to say this. I've said this before. If it wasn't for Kepa, you could argue that would be in the relegation zone right now. If you underground, Potter, I'm serious. Just think about it. I know you were going to say that. How about Obama floppy? But that's by the way. Did this man say or play Ruben Loftus-Cheek as right center back? Did you Phil? Did you mean Dave? Did you mean right center back?
I meant to say as a right wing back.
Just right. No, if right wing back, yeah, I would take it with an attacking intent. But I don't think there's space for him today. Even if we play with a back three, it will still be James. As long as James is fit, I don't think he gets a chance in that position. In the right wing back position, yeah, he's done well there, but not right center back. So now they understand what you mean. This isn't FIFA video game. He's saying, it's true. We was missing Koulibaly against Brighton. His leadership. We have to have either him or Silva to do well. Kai up front, please. I don't want us crossing the ball to in the box. It's no use. Is that Hezbollah? Is that what you're saying? Tired of the Koulibaly slander. I think, some people don't even critique him objectively. They just say he's done, he's a flop and all that. I don't think it's okay. If you understand him, you know he's an intelligent player. And like I've tried to explain before, he's overlapping, doing something, moving up to the central midfield area to even stop the opposition from attacking us. Because the 260s, as much as they are excellent offensively, they're not doing well protecting the defense. So he literally operates as a 6. But that's, by the way, Dave, let me start with you. Let's go with the 3 up front. Do you agree with Kai centrally here? His feet, and Lampard did talk about him being fit.
Yes,
do you agree?
I will put Kai in the middle, and on the left I'll put Mudryk, and on the right I wish Nani was available, but I will put Pulisic.
You think Pulisic starts?
Yeah, Pulisic should start.
Okay, let me. Roger, do you agree everything? Do you agree with everything? The front 3.
Are we trying to decide what Frank is going to do, or
what we think he's going to do? Yeah, I think he starts Mudryk today.
I hope so. I have a sneaking suspicion, however, that he will start Sterling. I'm not sure which side. He could start him on the left or right. I have a sneaking suspicion that'll be the case because he's going to go with the veteran because he does possess speed also. That's his argument. Mudryk has speed, but so does Sterling. But to me, you know my feelings on Sterling. They're quite unequivocal, to put it mildly. I hope he starts Madrid. I truly do. I think Felix. He'll start Felix, whether it's on the left or the right. I personally think there's. If I had to bet a pound, I would say he'll start Kai, Sterling, and Felix. But I wish for him to start Madrid.
I think I have to put up a poll and ask who starts on the right hand side because
Pulisic. You know,
he has a chance.
He has a chance. They're definitely coming off the bench, but realistically, I don't know. I have a feeling that he'll start Sterling over Pulisic. That's which I wouldn't. If I had a choice between Sterling and Pulisic, you know where I'm going with that.
Oh, yeah, I know. I do know that. 2-0 in 90 minutes, then extra time. I hope to see that. Mount will start. There's a chance. That's why I have to use a poll this time. It doesn't matter what formation we go. We're still going to get battered. Let's see what happens. Coach, where will you be watching the game? I will be watching from behind my sofa. From behind my sofa. I guess Roger will be watching from his newly purchased condo, courtesy of Brown Butters, of course. Yeah.
And we're back.
The payoff they got. After what has been said in locker room by Bali, Sterling isn't starting. From what we heard, I think people were suggesting that Lampard was the same. Sterling was probably the player that was being singled out. It will be Gallagher or Mount. As one of the 2-8s, if this is the structure, if it is 4-3-3, we're going with 4-3-3 because we had a poll and majority chose 4-3-3. Let's see what happens. Ruben Loftus-Cheek could play if we had a tactician with specific plan, with the limited time, with the limited time that Frank Lampard has, and not being a great tactician. We have to pray our regular starters are the best representation of themselves. I think that's a good argument there. Gallagher.
What's it say?
Okay, you corrected it. I was going to say, was that intentional or not? But let me put up a poll now to find out who starts in the right wing position. So the poll
is going to be Mason Mount.
I think if he's fit, because I still don't believe that he's fully fit and Frank Lampard didn't start him.
I don't think he starts Mount over Felix. I don't.
You don't think so?
No. No. If anything, if he does start Mount, it could be instead of Kova in the midfield on the left-hand side. If anything.
You mean he reduces like the number of reduces it to 2 6s instead of playing 3 CMs?
Yeah, I think he'll instead of Kova, he'll put Mount there. I think he'll play him as a number 8 in that regard, if that makes sense.
All right, I have Felix Gallagher. Pulisic is as an option there.
And listen, we're belittling Frank quite a bit, but it's also the players have to take, some responsibility for this. Don't forget when we had a transfer ban, we made the top 4 with Frank, so he is capable.
Well, but he needs to improve.
Yeah, no. There is no argument for me on that. I think when you said he's not an established manager, I think he is an established manager. It depends on what level. He's not an elite manager, I think is the term you need to say, because that's what we're looking for. And don't forget, and I'll keep on mentioning this, don't forget he beat Ancelotti 4-0 when he was at Everton. What does that tell you? Coaches coach, players play. You can be the best coach in the world, but if you're playing with an inferior team, you're not going to win. And Frank proves
that's an excellent point, really.
That seriously, if he's such a poor manager, how could he beat Ancelotti 4-0? How? In what planet would that transpire?
Will you believe that will happen except if you see it?
Yeah, exactly. What does that tell you? It tells you that the game is predicated on execution. This is what it's predicated on, nothing else. You can be the best manager in the world, but if your players aren't hitting the target or making mistakes and giving away penalties, etc., you're never going to win. Yes, that manager is worth his weight in gold for certain aspects that you put a team or specific individuals in positions to win, but ultimately the game is won and lost on the pitch. It's that simple. A manager can't take a penalty, for instance. Do you understand? It's based on execution.
Yeah, based on what we have on the screen right now, it is Felix at 12%, Gallagher 25%, Pulisic at 12%, Mount 50%.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. If you were Frank, what would you do for up top? What would you do? What is your preference? I don't know that player. Who is that? Did we sign him recently?
Honestly, I think since Kante is on the pitch, I can do without Mount.
I'm sorry, sir?
Since Kante is on the pitch, I would do without Mount. I will accommodate Felix.
Yeah.
Because this isn't complete. Mudryk has space, but it's not the most creative in terms of creating chances. I think it's a mix of Felix.
Three? So who's your
my front three would be we will accommodate Felix, Kai, and Mudryk.
Yeah,
that's the best we have. So that's
what I believe also. Yeah.
Why can't Pulisic play for us? The way he plays for the States, the way you deploy him, and the team overall is quite a lot. Kamavinga last game coming in middle because of two lazy clowns up front. Kovacic need to make. You don't have to add the clown. Maybe lazy players make pressure instead of okay. Because the States play Barbados. Because the States play Barbados. Wow, some comments right there.
Trinidad and Tobago also.
Yeah.
Hey, coach. I forgot to even bring this up, but I do believe that these Chelsea players do not get along. Certain players do not get along. I do believe that because when you watch every game before the start, they need to shake each other's hand and hug and all of that. And Graham Potter taking them to the military camp, and Enzo Fernandez getting into an argument with Ben Chilwell, and I'm starting to suspect that these players do not actually get along to even play as a team.
I think because of such a big squad, they needed a bonding session. This is not the norm to have 33, 34 players in the squad. You usually have between 18 and 25, max. That's considered a very large squad. We're 7 or 8 above a very large squad. That's the norm. So you hear most quote unquote former professionals and analysts say that you can't succeed in this way, having such a big squad. It's just not. And I think that has to do with why we haven't been successful. Let's just say it's a factor. It can't help. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because even when you watch Enzo on the ball, he prefers pass the ball to Reece James probably how many times? 100 times or something less than he passes the ball to the left side. The only time that the ball goes to the left side is if Kepa throws it to Ben Chilwell or Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez, 9 out of 10, will go to the right side and give it to Reece James because, I don't know, Cucurella can't cross the ball. He's been, you realize that whenever the left side misses to cross the ball higher, pay attention to Enzo Fernandez. He's furious for some reason.
Right, let me get a few.
And they don't pass the ball to Felix. They did not pass the ball to Felix because when Felix gets the ball, he is selfish as well. Just want to shoot and score 9 out of 10.
Yeah, there's no chemistry. I think with the advent of them, the executives, making the next decision on who to hire and who to thin out the herd, so to speak, I think this is going to be one of the most important decisions Chelsea has made in a long time. Because if they get the next coach wrong, then you're looking at serious ramifications.
All right, let me catch up with the chat. Hopefully, by the time I'll be done, we'll get a clue as to what player. I think it's looking more likely it's going to be Mount on the right hand side. Gallagher has the energy to play right wing back. I think so too. Big up Kuchila, the chat, and big up to you to Chelsea all the way. I cannot Todd have a US chat with Pulisic. Can get him to try. I don't know. It's different. Lampard is crap. Get rid. He stays to the end of the season. At least this time, I can swear that will happen. Lampard is worst manager in the league. Cucurella's place Statuel. What? Chilwell is red carded. He's suspended. Gallagher against that crafty and creative midfield makes me laugh. Madrid exploits mediocrity and naivety. Wow. Some comment there from Adebayo. Roger, it says, Coach might know where you are going between Pulisic and Stalin. I don't. And I like to know. No, I'm not going to let Roger do that.
I'm not going there.
He's not going there. It's an argument with Chile. Yeah, some people say I have to find out.
Though.
I wouldn't call it an argument, really.
Yeah, Coach, listen, it's quite normal, especially for large squads where you have disagreements. That's
just call it a disagreement.
Yeah, this is nothing earth-shattering. This is, in fact, if it doesn't happen, it's quite abnormal.
Yeah, that's the truth. They don't get along because new. But also because how things are going, losing does not help. It does not help. I say it that way. An elite manager will succeed. Stop giving excuses for clueless. Okay, if that's how you see it. Enzo is to blow. It's too slow for Real Madrid role alone. Enzo had a bad game against Brighton and also against Real Madrid. So
he looks
something
tired,
needs,
Coach.
Maybe tiredness. Yeah, something needs to change, or maybe a different, you could say, should I say, request for a different application or approach? Maybe a different approach may be affecting him, because we see Cucurella started well under Tuchel and then started in a crappy manner under Graham Potter. Enzo had a bad game against Brighton and also against Real Madrid. So sometimes something needs to change there. That is most pressing issue for me from the previous games. Maybe the approach, maybe Enzo needs to play more forward. I've said that before. Lots of people together cannot work. Everyone who have a social life or experience know that. That's the truth. I am not saying to bench Enzo, but we need to adjust something with Enzo on the pitch so that he can run the game the same way he did against Dortmund. I think it has to do mainly with the approach. I get it. And Enzo long shot. Let's see. That's because things. Chilwell is a weak link on the left side. Wow. Okay. Long shots. We can spam long shots. Okay. We can make the Gallagher goal happen with the deflection. Yeah. If you don't buy tickets, you're never gonna win the lottery. Just shoot.
Exactly.
Maybe bringing Cucurella as a sweeper frees up Enzo. Yeah, the sweeper rule, I actually like it, but it will be a risk on the day. I'll free up Enzo. Also, with shape, CFC players, yeah, because they will exploit that. Ancelotti is a smart manager. He will see that and they will exploit it. Better in moving the ball around and press. Lloris and Son fought in the dressing room at Tottenham. So it happens. Like Roger said, it'd be unusual if it doesn't. Play Zakaria as a DM. I doubt if Zakaria gets a chance if Kante is fully fit. Casado was so good, he was excellent. But to me, it's Mitoma. Coach, Lampard better than Potter. I disagree. We actually played better under Graham Potter than we've been playing under Lampard.
Objection.
Enzo is just Enzo is just slow. That is his physique, but still a very talented player. You can't take that away from him. Just needed to be used correctly. Yep, I agree. Stanley, Onumba, Kuchila, like seriously, these are the same Chelsea squad that lost all our 7 games. We have other registered Champions League players. They can try instead of this bunch of failed players. It's not up to me. We are objection sustained. We are trying to again accommodate players. We think Frank Lampard will start. And I want to say thank you again once more to my bro, Nee Zion from Blue Clouds Media. Please make sure to go check out his channel. Click the 3 dots by the right of his name. Go check out his YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. You will not regret it. And let him know I sent you. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, Roger, anything else you want to say with regards to the lineup?
No, I'm just worried that he's going to play bloody Sterling. That's my only hesitation. I think he's going to do that. I fear that he won't start Mudryk. That's my fear.
Yeah, I honestly do suspect that too. So
yeah,
people in the chat, they pick him up. Go ahead.
I strongly suspect it, and I understand his logic, because this is the MO of any coach, that, you know, when in trouble they depend on veterans because of the lack of mental mistakes. They've seen it, they've done it all. I get it, but we're looking for application, for execution. We're looking for being clinical. I think he should come in with a presentation, you know, and with a definition for clinical, so he can explain it to his players, because they seriously lack it.
They do.
To the extent that I've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. And Richard Poole says, bring back Drogba. Good luck. We need to bring all of them out. Mike Lesson, Mykhailo, and all of them. Anelka too. I want Anelka if you want to bring people back. Coach, offensively, more of 3-3-3-1 with Cucurella shifting to sweeper. It's something that's entirely new to them. They will struggle, if that makes sense. Porter is the left cheek, and Lampard is the right cheek of the same year. They both need slapping.
Yeah, that's funny.
Go ahead, Roger, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want to ask you, can you see under any circumstance Frank playing Aspi on the left side instead of Cucurella?
No, I don't see that happen.
Okay.
I don't see him getting the chance today.
Just curious.
Maybe against Southampton. I don't see him
getting the chance today. That's how I see it. Go ahead, Dave. You were saying something.
I was saying maybe against Southampton, maybe he would do that. Maybe even Southampton, no. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I was about to say this. I'm worried about Enzo Fernandez, because his first 5 games was barely in. He was giving assists. You guys remember that chip to Felix? Mm-hmm. There was a vibe. We could see Enzo Fernandez's presence. Now, Chelsea's gonna do what Chelsea do. We're gonna break him, playing him day in and day out.
And that's been after signing Roger, right?
Right.
Yeah, he looks fatigued.
We're gonna play him every game, and he's gonna start to slow down. Before you know it, life's gonna flash before our eyes. He's turned to Jorginho, passing the ball backwards, and it's gonna be a big mess. And we need proper rotation in this Chelsea squad.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So if Andre Santos is coming this summer, great. But I could already see a perfect midfield 3. Put Enzo Santos, put Enzo Fernandez, and put N'Golo Kante. These 3 midfields, they could cook. Put a back 4-4-3-3. Before we're gonna get the best of our forwards. Honestly,
but we need rotation. We need man management.
And that as well, because I don't want to see no rotation bringing in Gallagher inside. Gallagher is not ready. He's a 3rd option, probably 4th option at this point. We need proper first options and second options. The only best signing that we've had was Enzo Fernandez. I thought he was supposed to be the backup for N'Golo Kante because he's young, right? And beside that, another good signing I think I see is that right back who's supposed to replace Rhys James. Yes, these are good options when you go on the market to buy players. But now we have a lot of players in our team. So look at us. We don't even have a proper right wing player. Mason Mount is not a right wing. Sterling is not a right wing. Pulisic is not a right wing. All these guys are a bunch of left wingers who want to cut in and take a shot.
Well, Baddy, I'm sorry. What's his name?
Le Français, Dave. You can say Dave.
No, I forgot his name. Bloody hell, I've gone.
Nani?
Madueke, yes.
Madueke, yeah, Nani.
Yes, I like him a lot.
Yeah, but I think he'll be in the Champions League squad next season.
The 2 games that we had him, the first 2 games that we had him, it was crazy. But this guy you could see the ball moving actually, and then it posed
a threat. Very direct. Shy away from taking on opposition players and all that.
And then when we also had Mudryk on the left, you could see that these defenders were getting stretched out. I mean, as far as I do not want Lukaku back in the team, if you put Lukaku in the middle of Mudryk on the left and Nani on the right while they're attacking, Lukaku's gonna bully these defenders easily peasy.
You just said a forbidden name here. You were lucky we're rounding up. Those people in
L
the chat would
word.
have cooked you. Yeah, let me catch up with the chat and we call it a day. I think it's been an excellent show. And I appreciate you guys for nearly 60 likes, 59, one more to get it to 60. And then back in, I'm seeing 1,241, 1,241 views. That's not bad, even though we haven't streamed for a while. What about Lobster Chic? I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't think he gets a chance. Remember, I told you that. Our team is talented, but our output and mental state is the issue. We have what it takes to match Madrid man-to-man. I said that before, but let's see. Their mentality is questionable. I don't care about money. Sell players and get a DM like Apollina, flanked by Enzo and Casado, get a striker and a lead manager. Chelsea will be ready to go. Let's see what happens. The only thing Cuckoo should sweep is the dressing room. Why did I read that? I really want to go to heaven. Why did I read that? Porter ball may be the answer to unlocking Real Madrid. However, unfortunately, it might sound, but lack of time, options, and familiarity of a recent game like Dortmund are making me take this Porter ball. Brighton buy mitigation for 10 million. Who? I'm not sure. Is that mitigation?
I know who he's talking about. They just mentioned it on the game in the commentary.
Is it Mitoma?
Someone like that played for Brighton, and he was an outstanding player, and they bought him for 10 million. And yes, it's.
Oh, okay. Oh, is he talking about Mitoma, the guy that played against us?
Yeah, yes, it was one of the Brighton players, and he was a standout. Yeah.
All right, let me catch up with the chat and we call it a day. And if you're in the chat and you're interested in becoming a co-host, reach out to me via Twitter. We're looking for co-hosts so that we can stream consistently even when I'm not available. Show goes on. I really want it to be like that. Chelsea 3-1 beating Real Madrid. Okay, let's see if that happens. Banner, have you seen Enzo legs and cheeks? Huge. Is that what you're paying attention to? Constantine Dante. Okay, I don't pay attention to those. No one Chelsea supporter will watch tonight's game with ease. Those players are all nightmares. They are really playing with emotions. Wow. Mudryk is raw, if that's how you say it. If Porter is the left cheek and Frank is the right cheek, we should combine their skills and make it clap tonight.
So mix a lot.
Mix a lot.
Speaking of cheeks, Raheem Sterling can't be run right.
Yeah, you could argue that. I think he's an awful player, really. I've protected him long enough. I got these cheeseburgers, man. Yeah, and I like it. Players will play what they have been recently practicing. Well, unfortunately, remind me, please, what have we been practicing? I don't know. Drum roll, yep, do that for him. Why we must buy all team immediately? We're going to regret it in the future. We don't have to buy everything, but people have to suggest. But I get where you're coming from. Hi, Kachila and the panelists. I think Kante should play as a DM. Yeah, it could be like that, and Enzo will have the independence to be the more adventurous of them there. But let's see what Frank does. Let's say maybe let's just argue it's going to be fluid. Yeah, Coach, I cannot let you go today without having your scoreline prediction. Okay, I would say, oh my goodness. What am I going to say? I would say 3-2. Real Madrid would be the 3-2. I think that's what it's going to be. Why do I say that? Let me just say at least there will be 5 goals. And I think we concede 3. They score 3, we score 2. Unfortunately, that's what I think that's going to happen. But even that one, my team to win. If we win, I'll take it. Why? Carlo is a smart manager and will be all out to get a goal. And defensively, Thiago Silva, I still don't think is fully fit. They have pace. Let's see. If we get a win, I'll take it. But Roger, your thoughts and your prediction?
Yeah, I can't see anything but an unfortunate loss, possibly a draw. Obviously, I'd like to be proven wrong. Obviously, and the reason why I say this is because we're talking over 6 games here that we haven't been able to put one ball in the back of the net without a deflection. This is why I'm saying that now it could come in abundance. When it rains, it pours. Perhaps that could be the case where the floodgates open.
So your scoreline, your score prediction.
I don't usually do score lines, but I think I'm just hoping that it's not an embarrassment tonight. That's all I'm hoping for.
But you think there's going to be lots of goals?
Yeah, but not in our favor. I'll be honest.
I think they will score, and we will score. And I
got bad news for you too.
I'll come to you in a bit, Dave. Havertz perfect hat trick tonight. Left post, right post, and crossbar. Thank you very much. We're scoring two re-elected goals. Wow. What when is that? 3-0 90th minute, and they scored 2 after that. It seems about right. Yeah, let's see what happens. Deflected on goals, just done. Pull an Iniesta on one on me tonight. I cannot cope. We scored 2, great. Okay, I will cherish watching those goals because I don't think we're scoring two more goals in the remaining season. Wow. Hopefully, no embarrassment. 1-1. You go ahead, Dave, your score prediction. So we can call it a
first,
day.
I wanted to ask, if Fofana get another yellow card today, is it going to be a straight red card or a suspension?
No,
it will be a suspension.
Oh, well, 6-0 Chelsea to lose.
Wouldn't it be a suspension, Roger? I haven't seen that happen, carrying over from one game to the other. No.
So this is the quarterfinals. So once you get to the semi-finals, the yellow cards, I believe, are all negated. It starts.
Yeah, no, he's asking with regards to the second leg. I don't think where he gets in the first one. Maybe the rules have changed, and I wasn't paying attention.
As far as I know, he has to get 2 yellow cards today to be sent off.
In
a single game.
Yeah, in a single game. Yeah, it doesn't matter about if he gets 1 today. He will not miss the semi-final, assuming we progress. Because I believe once you reach the semi-final, it's the yellow card accumulation is negated. It's reset.
All right. It says Madrid 4, Chelsea 1. I'll come to you again, Dave. Porter and Lampard have literally handed City their first UEFA Champions League. So you go ahead. Your prediction, so we can call it a day.
6-0 Chelsea to lose. The London Bridge is going to sink, just like the Santos predicted. The fans going to set up that stadium on fire. And the reason why I don't, how are we going to score? How? On goals from Real Madrid? I don't think so.
That's my contention. That's my only thing is, if we were scoring previously, occasionally, or even moderately, then I could say we have a chance. But
the thing is, look, last game, Real Madrid had a lot of chances. They expected more from us. So after they've seen what we gave them, after Vinicius realizing that he had to go 1v1 with Fofana and Chalobah, that brother is coming for more. I'm just being honest with you. He did a lot of 1v1 and 1v1. But look at Karim Benzema and Vinicius. They're talking, and then we conceded the first goal.
All right.
When was the last time that Kai Havertz spoke to somebody?
I just watched it.
All right, we have to call it a day, people, please. I'm late, no problem. Kind of. But Roger, go ahead. I'll let you drop.
No, I just watched Mount, his turn, and then he shot and beat the keeper, but Rudiger blocked it. So it's possible, but it's unlikely.
All right, people, thank you so much. It's been an excellent show. Porter and Lampard, I've read that one. And this one here says, if we're beating 1-0 today, are you happy with the result? I just don't want to get a disgrace. And knowing we are out, but it's going to be painful knowing that we're out, because that literally season is done if that happens. With a heavy heart, I have a feeling it will be 2-2. If we can keep clean sheet, we are going to penalties. Okay. I am being realistic. Okay, I get it. That means that they are a better team because we miss class players in attack. So simple. Bye-bye, everyone. Constantine, see you next time. So far, under Lampard, we have not had a plan, and we haven't played as a team. Let's hope today that changes. We really only have to eliminate 3 players from the game: Vini, Benzema, and Mudryk, and we can win. Mudryk for the passes, Vini for his pace on the flanks, and Benzema for the finishing. Really more importantly. But that's by the way. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time, and I don't think I have too much time to say thank you to everyone. But thank you especially to Bobby. Thank you to Roger, Pop, my good friend, and thank you to Dave, Francis Dave. Thank you to the Bluetooth game, JC, Constantine, Eugene, Ezra, JC, Also, and my brother Nee, who was here. Everyone that's in the chat, and Glenn, my good friend and brother. Everyone that's in the chat. If I missed saying your name, apologies. I'm only a human being. I'll see you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Thanks, Coach.
More thanks to you. Big up and much respect to you, Laura. Laura, I appreciate you finding time to